Hello, folks! A very special video coming to you, but just before I go on my winter break, I am once again joined by Skullduggery TV.
Howdy.
And we have some. The reason why I'm calling this a very special video, folks, is because as you can see on your monitors, we have a YouTube video open, Aliens Commentary, and it featuring James Cameron and Stan Winston. And this is apparently the commentary that is the evidence of Sigourney Weaver's very strange demands for returning to the Alien franchise.
Oh, I will say it took a lot longer than it should have for me to actually try and find this source.
Right, like I'm still just like now, folks. I want to clarify. I have not watched this video. I have not listened. Well, okay, it's more of a listen because they're still images. I have not listened to any point of this video. Skullduggery TV provided it. He provided the timestamp for it. So we are going to be covering we're going to be covering as much of Alien Resurrection as we can within our usual time limit. But we are first going to listen to this because of, again, some of you might have watched our Aliens video and heard me lose my absolute shit.
That is still like my favorite moment of the stream because I didn't even give you a chance to think about what I said. So
yeah, you're just like, here it is.
Oh yeah, and this what?
What? To quote, do you remember the Sword and the Stone movie, the old Disney animated movie, The Sword and the Stone?
Oh yeah,
the owl. The way he would always repeat "what" after saying it. What?
Oh, it's been a while since I've watched that movie.
Oh no, same. But I just one of the weird things I remember is that owl. The way he says what. The weird squirrel part. And then lastly, okay, I suppose it ties back to the squirrel. The wolf and his utter exhaustion and frustration.
Oh, I think I have the video open up on my end as well. To the viewers on my end for this recording, you won't see the YouTube video. You will, however, just be seeing the footage I already have playing through my VLC recorder.
Oh, yeah.
However, I will just say the source is a YouTube channel called the DVD Vault.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, like I'm going to be the reason why we have this set up is so that so funny enough, it ties into a topic that I just talked to Skullduggery TV about before we got ready to record. We don't want to just say some shit without providing evidence. You know? Yeah. So like this commentary by James Cameron and whatnot is that evidence. So
yeah.
Because like don't get me wrong. I will say I love Sigourney Weaver's performance in all the Alien movies, even Resurrection, and I even have a strange request, a hope I would have, going into any future movies, and it's going to be weird, but just bear with me when I get to that point.
Okay, I'm curious to see what you're going on with this one now.
But yeah, so. That's why I'm actually going to be. I have it rigged up so you guys can actually hear the video, and then I will obviously switch to our usual, Alien Fire Team Elite video once we're done. Once we get our evidence, we'll move on. We're not watching the entirety of this video. We're just
this segment.
Yeah, just a segment.
Right, and before we do play it, actually, I just want to press play on it myself just to see if my audio captures it. Just because OBS is a bit freaky, so I'm just going to. So the timestamp is 1 hour 44 minutes and 58 seconds in the commentary. If you guys are ever wanting to watch the commentary,
I went back to 1:43:29 just so that we have the full context of like the question and what's being said, like and whatnot.
Oh, good call, actually. Okay, so I'm just going to press play briefly just to see if OBS picks it up. So sorry, guys, we'll just get. Okay, yeah, it's picking it up. Okay.
Okay.
So one 144.29. Did you say?
I went to 143.29.
143.29. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All
folks,
right,
I'm about to press play in 3, 2, 1.
Better than Ray's. And Ray is just a dear guy and a really good editor, but he was just struggling with it. And so finally, he just grabbed all the film, locked himself in his room, said, "Don't bother me." Not like mean or anything, but just I just gotta do this. And he went in and he cut the entire last kind of 8 minutes of the picture, and he showed it to me very nervously. Cut it in like a day or two, and he showed it to me very nervously. And I watched the whole thing, and I said, "It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Don't change anything." And that was that. And he felt like it was such a huge victory, you know, because he had actually got it. He'd mastered the style for the film. Sigourney, you know, she's very liberal politically and despised all the idea of any kind of guns or anything, and tried to talk me out of having them have weapons. And I said, no, they're Marines. They would have weapons. She said, well, do I have to carry a weapon? And I said, yes. She said, why? I said, because it's not Sigourney Weaver in the film. It's Ripley, and Ripley wants to survive. So I took her out shooting a Thompson machine gun out behind the studio, and she fired off a 50-round magazine from the hip. And then she looked up at me with this kind of sly grin and said, "That's really fun." I said, another liberal bites the dust. There were a couple things she asked me if she could do when we had our very first meeting. She wanted to die in the film. She wanted to not use guns. And she wanted to make love to the alien. And between the third and fourth film, she got to do all of those things. But fortunately for this film, I said no to all of them. Even though I was petrified about the result, I thought, you know, she'd bolt from the project. But she didn't. She had a lot of really good ideas. I don't want to make it sound like she was, you know, but she did have certain very specific things that she thought should be done in the alien mythos. And when she got to a position of power on the later film, she made that happen.
The same coming
Yeah, there you go. I stopped at 145.34, where he says when she got the power in the production, she made it happen.
Yeah, and oh boy, does she! Because
we're going to be covering that movie today.
Yeah, and I know when the sex scene happens because I actually looked into it. Oh my god! So I've never.
Now, so I do want to clarify one thing, though, folks. The version of the movie that I watched in preparation for this video was the one on Disney Plus. So
yeah, theatrical release, same here.
Yeah, okay. So, but the scene does exist still. Like they
yeah. It was part of the theatrical release. I do because I barely watched the fourth one, even when I have the director's cut. But the times where I did watch the director's cut, I remember, at the very least, I remember two scenes that were, or three, sorry, that were kind of
creepy,
added back in for the director's cut. The what?
I was going to say creepy.
Fuck. But yeah, it's I think two of the scenes I wish they had kept in. The third one is take it or leave it. Nothing changes whether it's removed or kept in. But yeah, I will say, having gone back and rewatched this movie, not going to be as scathing as I thought it would be.
Yeah,
unlike with Alien 3, I like because because I barely remember most of Resurrection. Like, it kind of just, when I watched the film back for the first time, my initial thoughts were, oh, that was a thing.
You know what?
That was kind of it.
To be honest with you, let's not talk about those scenes until we actually get to them. Like,
yeah.
Now,
no, I'm not talking about those scenes. Just in general, just Resurrection.
Okay. No, like as I said, like for me, Alien 3 is on the bottom of the list so far. Like, yeah, okay. I'm still standing by that at the moment.
No, I can kind of get that. Yeah.
Like Alien Resurrection, in my opinion, is definitely better than 3. But again, I think it's because, well, I think, again, as we said in our Alien 3 video, Alien 3 suffered from a lot of, like, issues in production like
it was
the rewriting, and once Sigourney Weaver got her, like she got what she wanted when she got her power, which was no guns, which then created they basically now had to rewrite the fucking movie for that. So there's definitely so Alien 3 definitely suffered again, as we called it, the big corporations interference pain or syndrome.
It sadly extends to like movies, shows, and games.
Yeah, like when we talked about it, we brought up like Anthem and Mass Effect Andromeda and whatnot.
Yeah, I will say even Mass Effect 3, from what I remember with the research, like EA rushed them a lot.
Yeah.
Like there was supposed to be a lot more ideas for the third game, but we can get into that. I would look.
Funny enough, though, like it seems like I will say currently it seems like EA is the biggest fucking culprit. Like I think even in compared to movies, like I haven't heard about any movies that has had like major companies like interfering on such a degree as EA does, interfering with BioWare's game developments.
Yeah.
Now, mind you,
like EA are like no. From what I understand, from what I remember, from what developers and stuff like that worked under EA were saying, like none of them really enjoyed working with them.
Yeah, like Anthem, like in all fairness, Anthem was the biggest victim out of the games that I mentioned. Anthem is definitely the biggest victim of it because like they've had they had 15 complete team changes where everyone was just taken off the project and replaced by a whole new team. So like there wasn't even people like from the previous team left standing. Like it was just like, oh no, we're taking 100% of the people that worked on this project and moving them to a different project, and then we're just going to bring in a whole different group in to work on this project. But anyway, again, our message to again, if somehow this video becomes very popular, our message is for big companies like Fox, Disney, Warner Brothers, EA.
Let the creators be creative.
Yes.
You know, like none of this fucking design by committee kind of thing.
If you have a company, if you have a company that has had several decades of releasing good shit, let them cook.
Yeah, it's like the one that annoys me. I'm saying this as a big Trekkie. They did 3 seasons of a show called Star Trek Picard, and it was meant to be like this big continuation for Patrick Stewart's character from Star Trek Next Generation, and it was something fans wanted for ages. Because like, oh my god, it's Patrick Stewart, he's back as Captain Picard, awesome! And like the first 2 seasons were like the most horrifically written character assassination I have ever seen of a show, and it's because like it was what's his name, Alex Kurtzman is the guy running Star Trek at the moment, but he has admitted he's not a Star Trek fan, he's a Star Wars fan, and so that's what he was doing with Star Trek. He was basically making it as if it was Star Wars, which you don't do.
You don't know. They're completely... Like, I don't like Star Trek, but I would acknowledge that it's a completely different beast, which is why I'm not a fan of it.
No, yeah, and that's very fair. But yeah, and it became like this very dark, gritty kind of overly dramatic. It wasn't it was Star Trek in name only. And when it comes to Star Trek Discovery, the fans have lovingly called it STD. As a short, because I mean that's its abbreviation, but you know we mean it with hatred. Anyway,
but yeah, so again, the first, just don't companies.
Yeah.
Like for example, like again, I hate to bring them up again. EA, the level of interference you seem to do on BioWare of all companies, like why? This is the company that like brought you your biggest fucking hits.
Yeah, like, and again, going back to Mass Effect, like, as I'm currently playing through Mass Effect 2 at the moment. I had a playthrough done. I was in the middle of a playthrough ages ago, and now I'm finally picking it back up. And the amount of things that they had to cut out because of EA just really like some of the ideas were great as well. Like you were gonna. I think I said it in the last video, but yeah, you were gonna be able to recruit any of the characters at any point
time,
in the game
like,
and stuff. Yeah,
I would have loved having Tally and Garrus so soon. Like,
yeah, like just meeting on Omega and stuff like that. And again, I do know that there are mods out there that correct this because there is dialogue in the game's coding for all the characters because they recorded all the dialogue in anticipation for this being a thing you can do. So
and that's and that's what I want to bring up. And see, folks, and that's how we know about the level of interference is because EA doesn't fucking bother to scrub the fucking game's code or the files. So modders have actually modders have discovered this like that all this content like oh my fucking god. Now thank god, like one of the things I do love is just before he sold LucasArts, George Lucas like just told them, look, the missing content, like the cooked shit from KTOR 2, just put it on the internet. Let modders finish it.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I've played that content and oh my fucking god. KTOR 2 is so incredibly enjoyable once you have the restored content.
Oh yeah, and that's why, like, especially when it comes to like PC gaming, like, the modding community is great.
Yeah,
you know, they do so much fantastic work when it comes to a lot of great games. And I found out like Mass Effect Legendary Edition actually it supports modding. So I'm trying to find there's been a few mods that like allow you to see Tally's face beyond the mask and stuff like that. And some of them are really good.
No, for me. Okay, yeah, it depends on your cup of tea. Like, for me, I like to make my games harder or like some like I tend to make my games a bit harder or just give me extra toys, but as long as they're not broken. Once I see a mod's broken, I quickly get rid of it.
Yeah, that's the down, and it's a downside as well when like you get some great mods, but then like they lose support, so like, they can't work after that.
Oh no, what I mean by broken is in like it's way overpowered.
Okay, yeah.
Like for example, like when I did my Spider-Man Let's Play, I only stuck to like cosmetic changes to the suit. Like for example, I always found it weird how Black Cat like if you complete all the Black Cat missions, she gives you a suit that is supposed to be. She gives you a suit that she made for you because again, Black Cat likes to flare. Yeah, and it's black and red. Now, don't get me wrong, favorite color scheme. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely no. Don't get me wrong. However, I always felt that was a little weird. So I found a mod where it swaps the red for white so that you match her color scheme. Because, you know, the way Black Cat is always sort of flirting with you. And at the time of that game, you were broken up with MJ. So I'm like, oh, Black Cat, like, you know, the idea she's giving you a cool gift, a suit that is reminiscent to her, so you match. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's just I find having mods that give you overpowered weapons and whatnot just terribly boring. But anyway, so enough about all that shit. We went on a fairly lengthy, I want to say about a 10-minute tangent. Give or take, because we had to listen to that video. Excluding the listening to the commentary, I'd say maybe 8-9 minutes at most. So we cut into we start Alien Resurrection with the usual 20th Century Fox. And I will say after that, I do wish they would have done something cool with it. Again, not many
Alien 3.
Yeah, or like X-Men, but again, not all movies did it.
Yeah, and it would have been a bit gimmicky if they did it, you know. Yeah. They don't. It's a nice little surprise. And going into it, I quite like the visuals we get for the opening title.
Yes, I was about to say the same thing.
It is actually, it's a step up from Alien 3, which the more you watch it, it pisses you off.
Yeah, and it matches the theme of like it matches the plot of like Alien Resurrection so fucking well. Like all the slimy, fleshy muscle. Ooh,
yeah, and it's quite clearly meant to be like a close up of like all the failed clones and stuff like that.
Yeah, and okay, you know what? Let's get out of the way. The clone talk. Let's get the clone talk out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 200 years after the events of Alien 3, which was a couple of weeks after the a couple of weeks after the events of Alien 2, which was about 70 years, 50 to 70 57 years after the events of the first movie. And the first movie, it takes place very far into the future.
Yeah, so we're 200 years later, and they still have really shit looking ships.
I actually like the design of the ships, but
no, I will say I do like it.
Yeah, and she even comments like this is like the ship that they escape on at the end of the movie is quite old. It's older than she was.
I did love that line.
But my point is, we as humans can not really fathom the level of technology that humanity might advance by that point.
Yeah, and to showcase this, they use breath to open doors.
I hate that.
So do I.
I hate it.
The stupidest fucking thing.
It's as stupid as the whole electrical fire issue.
Oh god.
I remember our long tangent about us just hating on the idea of electrical fire in a spaceship.
It was yeah.
It's so
sorry. I have a feeling that we're eventually going to stop. We're just going to forget about Resurrection. Just keep shitting on Alien 3.
But anyway, so despise. Okay, but anyway, my point is cloning. Maybe not entirely out of the realm of possibilities to have been developed. And
I don't mind the explanation they give, like, oh yeah, so we used like hair and skin samples from Fury 161. Makes sense. She shaved her head. Of course, they'd have some samples.
Yep. And also, there was a lot of shit going on, so the idea that there might be some level of blood. Actually, sorry, her chest fucking got ripped open as she was going down. Okay, yes, a good bit of her blood would have fell into the fucking molten metal and, evaporated or whatever. But the thing is, she was fairly high up. So, could there have been a drop or two that may have gone onto the rim or whatnot? Yes. So the idea that, clearly there's always a chance that they would have gotten samples,
Yeah.
So, and again, keep in mind, folks, as Skull mentioned, they show us the failed clone attempt, so it's not even perfect cloning that we're dealing with. We're not talking Star Wars perfection of cloning, where every clone, every attempt of making a clone is 100% bang on. No,
just a perfect copy.
Yeah, no, they took several attempts to create her.
Now, it should be pointed out, it's not entirely clear at the beginning that these images are failed clones. We just get little snippets that, for example, when we see Ripley for the first time after she's created, she's got a little tattoo on her arm that's the number 8. The Dr. Wren, the lead scientist, calls her number 8 at the beginning instead of Ripley.
And let's talk about the casting choice, because him as the head scientist.
Oh, he's such a dick.
I fucking loved him. Oh, wait, for this type of project, he is all the right kinds of creepy.
Yeah, he's just an unsettling little twat lord. And your man played him really well. I've actually got the cast here. Where is he? Dr. Wren. He is J.E. Freeman. Is his name. He's been in a good few things.
Oh yeah, I think he's traditionally typecast as a creepy or science type person. I'm not sure. Maybe he has other roles, but I feel like I only see him in those roles. But he plays it so well. But yeah, we find ourselves on the USM Auriga, medical research vessel, United Systems Military. So bye. Hold on, folks. I need to mute my mic real quick.
I just realized I didn't mute you. Oh, hold on.
You gotta love, folks, when you're trying to get a video recorded, your family just starts shouting up at you. Thank God for hotkeys.
Yeah, I actually forgot to mute you on my end, so people got maybe the tail end of that.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
Again, like we go on enough tangents as it is.
Yeah.
What's 30 seconds of me shouting up in like an Irish typical conversation between family members? We don't talk in the same room. We shout from room to room.
And when you shout back, they don't reply. You have to go all the way downstairs.
Oh no, she replied, thank God. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so bye Wayland Yutani. So unfortunately we cannot blame corporate greed on the stupidity.
Yeah, it's just military wants their alien.
Oh my fucking God, it's Jurassic World.
Oh God. And I already have issues with that one as well.
Oh no, I love Jurassic World. Like it's in my opinion, it's the right type of nostalgia.
I will say I do like the first one. The rest of them I don't like, but the first one I'm okay with.
Yeah, the other in the end they do get a little Jurassic Park Lost World, which in my opinion is the worst one because it unfortunately gets a bit preachy.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, it does make sense that that type of movement would come up. Like should we not just leave them alone and whatnot, like instead of trying to make them for our amusement?
Yeah,
so like,
we should really cover them.
After we do the Stargate stuff.
Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, because you said you were excited to do the Stargate, and I've never seen them, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll do the Jurassic Worlds, Jurassic Parks there. And I think also, what? We should even cover the cartoon series that Netflix made, Camp Cretaceous.
Okay, I'll give an episode or two a watch and see how I feel about it.
If not, I'll do it myself.
Okay. All right then. Anyway, so yeah, we're back to this. So yeah, Wayland Yutani's gone.
Yeah.
We assume I don't know. Because I do know in the comic books and like the extended lore of the games, like they're still going for a while after the events of Alien 3.
Oh, sorry. Interesting fact. We do get the total crew on the vessel. So they have 42 soldiers and 7 science officers. So about 49 people are on this vessel, not counting, obviously experiments.
Yeah, and the crew of the Betty, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right then. Yeah. Okay. Because they didn't. The last time they did that was the Nostromo, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really cool idea. Like especially in these movies, give us the total number of bodies that could end up being dropped.
Yeah. The smorgasbord, and of course, a lot of them do kind of get out in the escape pods.
Yeah. Which is a first.
Yeah, people actually survive in the early stages of the film.
But yeah, we then a tube is then quickly revealed a clone of Ripley.
Yeah, and I'm going to point out right now, with the soundtrack, they actually do throw back to a lot of previous movie scores in the franchise. Like they use a lot of Jerry Goldsmith's material from the first film, particularly in the reveal of Clone Alien. They're actually using part of the Alien theme. In her reveal.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the little wailing, the do 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 do. That kind of you'll know when you hear it. It's very it's kind of people hear it, they immediately think Alien. Like it's just kind of that thing. And Jake Goldsmith just fantastic composer. But yeah, I can't remember who did the music this time around, but whoever it was, I'll put your name here. You did a great job. Yeah. The movie is also. So we're just wanted to point this out. Because first of all, of course, the movie is directed by a Frenchman called Jean-Pierre Jeunet, who... Oh my god,
that is the most French name I've ever actually heard.
Yeah. It is. He is absolutely French. He is, I think... I'm only aware of one other film he's directed because my mom loves it, and it's called Amélie, and it is a good movie. Soundtrack's amazing as well. I recommend you all go out and watch it. Really good movie. But the movie was also written by Joss Whedon.
Wow. Joss Whedon, Buffy.
Yeah, but of creator of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Avengers, and a massive asshole.
Is he?
apparently he was just not nice to a lot of his female co-stars,
which is interesting considering the levels he went to help like praise the actress who played Buffy and all that, like.
Yeah. And again, this is I think a lot of this is coming from third-party sources. I'll have to check that. If I'm wrong, I'll put a text up here saying I'm wrong, or just I'm right, either way.
Well, again, things could have changed between the time, like when he did Buffy, then to when he did the other stuff. So again, people can't change, I suppose.
Yeah. But no, so the movie was written by Joss Whedon, which kind of explains a lot, because despite Joss Whedon's, whatever you think of Joss Whedon as a director or movie, I do think he does dialogue really well.
Yeah.
And I quite like the interactions between a lot of the characters. In this film.
Because again, like I don't know if I said this in SideChat, like, but Joss Whedon, like, there was a moment in his career. It was around the time when Buffy goes to college, and people, like critics, were saying like the actors are terrible. In Buffy, like, and the only reason why these actors are getting the accolades that they were getting was because of Joss Whedon's directing and the what was written, put in front of them, and Joss Whedon apparently took exception to that. So he then made an entire episode that is no dialogue.
I heard about this.
It is a silent episode. It's one of my favorites. It is a He made a silent episode where these things steal people's voices and whatnot.
That's so clever.
Yeah. And basically, the entire story of that episode is basically being told, one, through the characters writing shit down, and then just through their, actual acting skills of conveying emotion and whatnot. And it is considered one of the best. It's often voted as one of the best, or high up on people's top Buffy episodes.
That is one way to say fuck you to critics.
Yeah, because again, he's worked with these actors and the actors for a long time, and so he's like, you think they're shit? Hold my fucking beer.
No one insults my cast except me.
Yeah, maybe that was the attitude. But again, I'm just saying, like, So like, I can definitely see why, you probably. So yeah, he has he's a good director, and all that. Again, can't speak for him as a person because again now there's conflicting stories.
I'll double check that.
My story comes from a much earlier time as opposed to Alien Resurrection and the Avengers, obviously, because Buffy is quite old as a series. I still love it though. I've been rewatching them. The opening. Oh my god, the opening. Anyway,
I still actually need to watch it proper. I've only ever watched a handful of episodes.
Dude, it's on Disney Plus and it's on Amazon Prime even.
Oh, it's on Amazon. Okay, I'll be watching that then.
Anyway, my point is, people changed. So maybe when he started working on Avengers and whatnot, that's when start happening. But maybe, as opposed, however, from what I know, people that worked with him on Buffy and Angel have nothing but good things to say.
Oh, okay then. Fair enough then.
But anyway, so we get to a bit of a surgery that's going on. With one of my favorite casting choices of crazy, creepy scientist.
Brad Dourif, yeah. For those of you that are horror aficionados, Brad Dourif is most popular. Well, first of all, he's always a great character actor. He's always good coming into play, as you say. He always kind of plays the kind of weird characters. But he is most well known for his performance as Chucky the Psychotic Doll from the Child's Play movies.
No, that wasn't him.
That's Chucky.
Oh my god!
And he's just a fucking great actor. He's supposed to be a genuinely nice guy.
Oh no, I can believe that. Yeah, I can totally believe that. It's just unfortunately when you have a certain appearance to you, it's like Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler can do serious movies, but sorry, Adam Sandler's a bit of a bad exception. No, don't get me wrong. Adam Sandler's a great actor. He can actually I'm actually serious. He can do serious movies.
Oh, he has, yeah. Like, Uncut Gems is a great movie.
Like, unfortunately, when they try and give him serious fucking movies, they do try and sneak in a few of the classic Adam Sandler things, like the movie Click. I was like, dude, for that movie, I'm like, pick a lane. Are you a comedy or are you a fucking drama? But like another good example of a guy that gets typecasted is Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I loved him as Eggman.
Oh yeah, he's great as Eggman.
Oh god, you can, and I love the fact that he's only coming out of retirement only for that role.
Yeah, because it's the one like he seems to have a lot of fun with, and I think his grandkids love it. I think that's why he said he did it. Like he has his kids or his grandkids enjoy it, so that's why he's doing it. But
we'll never see him in any other role unless it's Eggman. But I don't give two shits.
yeah, because it's fun. It's like classic Jim Carrey performance. I love it. But as you said, it's a good example because he does a lot of comedies, but he's fantastic in dramas. I don't know if you've ever watched it, but The Truman Show is an amazing movie.
Exactly. Now, don't get me wrong. Unfortunately, they did obviously force in. There were some moments where you're like, okay, I know they clearly just put this in because they got Jim Carrey.
True, but I think it works.
It does work because it works because like the moments only really come up when he is sort of losing it.
Yeah, he's starting to realize what the hell's going on.
Yeah, like for example, when he goes ape shit in the car, that's a classic Jim Carrey performance, but it's
like, context for the movie, it works.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm just gonna pause for a second.
Yeah, okay. Hey, sorry
about that, guys.
Yeah. That guy is. I can't believe he's Chucky.
Yeah. Brad Dourif, great actor, and in this movie, again, typical Brad Dourif fashion. I'm very fascinated to be honest every time he's on screen.
To be honest with you, I don't think there was a bad casting choice in this movie.
Yeah, actually, I've got to say that. Yeah,
and I have no real issue with anyone's performance.
Like again, like it's one of those things where the cast really do kind of shine the most in the film.
Yeah, and
like with Alien 3, it was maybe like a handful of them you can remember and enjoy. But with this, it's almost like across the board.
Yeah, but again, I think we have the benefit of the fact that we've despite the numbers of people on this ship, we have gone back to focusing on a crew.
Yes.
And again, I think it's also the reason why, even though Prometheus does talk about not Prometheus, Covenant is like a colony ship, that they're like, even though it's a colony ship, we're going to focus on the important crew members. Just
the ones that are awake.
Because that formula for alien movies clearly fucking works.
Yeah.
And again, it is a good idea.
Absolutely. It's and again, like you say, it does work here, and for this film, of course, the crew we're focusing on is the crew of the Betty, who is comprised of...
We should cover that out. Let's cover them a little later.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But as you say, we're going with the surgery, and it's Ripley. Obviously, they've successfully brought her back, and they're removing the Queen from her chest. And I will say, practical effects hold up really well.
Yeah, I will say, I
was a bit.
I thought, and I love the idea of, these surgical surgical gloves that they seem to have. Mind you, I'm curious. Is this because of the technology progressing? I am curious. Is these gloves meant to be acid resistant? They're taking those levels of precaution? Do they have because they have these little bumps on them? Do they specifically use them because of that, which allows for a better grip because they knew this thing's probably going to try and escape once we try and grab hold of it?
Yeah.
Or are these just genuine surgical gloves? So we don't know.
Yeah. It's and it's a very interesting setup as well because it's a very narrow container they have her in. It's almost like a box in and of itself. That Ripley's sealed inside of. And so they do. They successfully get the Queen out. They take it away, and
they then debate on whether or not to kill
Kill Ripley or keep her, and they realize that
she's
They
stable.
see her. Yeah, she's stable. She's not showing any signs of like dying or anything like that. So Dr. Wren, the lead guy, is just says to he allows Brad Dourif's character Gediman, I think is the character's name, to all right, yep, stitch her up and let's get to work then. And this is where we got our first extended cut. The director's cut scene that they removed was her waking up, smashing through the glass and grabbing one of the surgeons.
Oh wow! I think they could have kept that in. But I do like the following scene though when we're in her cell.
Yeah, it is almost like a rebirth.
Yes,
in how it's done, and I quite liked it. Visually, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Just because the music, and then of course Sigourney Weaver's acting.
We also get a very similar scene towards the end of the movie as well. Like, I'm not sure if you noticed, but like, do you not feel like this mirrors what happens with the Queen a little bit? With what happens with the Queen's Xenomorph, like not to get too ahead of us, but like doesn't that like bear striking like the way she moves against like whatever thing they put her in?
Oh, I didn't think of that.
We'll go more in depth, folks, when we get to that point in the movie. But I don't think it'll be in this video.
We'll wait and see. You never know. Because I will say, with this film in particular, I think we might have an easier time getting through it because one thing I do think is kind of a thing against the movie is it is very straight, like paint by numbers kind of, okay, we have the characters in this area. Okay, now we have them here, and now we have them here, that kind of thing. Like, it is kind of to the movie's detriment because it is basically
It is very fast paced. Like,
like the main goal is we're getting off the ship. Like, they don't want to blow the ship, they don't want to fucking kill the end. We're getting off the ship. That's the only goal for this.
And
this film.
This is when we see the number 8 on her arm, which is again, if anyone was surprised to discover that she was a clone, like, okay, or if she was the 8th clone, like, then wow. No offense, but there's a lot, like, there's very obvious context for that. Like, one, the tube that we see her in, and then the number 8. So clearly, she is the 8th subject. Of whatever experiment that they're doing.
Like immediately after her rebirth scene, like the first thing we hear her being referred to as is number 8 by Dr. Wren. As Gediman's doing a thing on her. Like, and we learn through that scene as well that she is healing really quickly. Like, her scar has almost like completely healed over. Like, she's basically this is not Ripley the Ripley we know. And I will say again, credit to Sigourney Weaver. She plays it really well.
Oh yeah, they brought up like emotional autism.
That is, I have that written down. That's my favorite line in the fucking film.
Yeah, because because throughout the entire movie, she is pretty much emotionless.
Yeah, her I would say her behavior is almost predatory.
Yes, I was gonna bring that up at some point.
Yeah, it is very, because there are moments in this film where she is looking at a character or a situation, and it's almost like she's just completely emotionally detached from it.
She's like.
This is curious.
Also, her aggression, which is going to come up in the very same scene we're about to talk about, but like throughout the movie, she's also quite aggressive. Yeah,
like she's almost the first to like instigate some kind of, well, not instigate a fight, but she oh no, actually, she does instigate the fight. Like with
she's several times she instigates a fight.
I was trying to think of a time if she ever did respond to self-defense, but no. A good few of the fights that she gets into in this film are a direct result of her.
But see, the thing is, what I find very fascinating is, again, one of the first signs of, okay, this is not the Ripley we know, is because as the head scientist, he's leaning forward and he's like, "You're going to make us very proud." And immediately, Ripley is wrapping her legs around his waist and then breaking the fucking handcuffs she's in.
And she starts just strangling the shit out of him,
And, like...
the look on her face as well, like she's clearly not angry or emotional. She's just doing it because she can, I think.
Which shit! I just saw a clip there, because as folks, just to remind you, when we do this, because I'm not a big note taker. I tend to either rely on my memory or just talk about things that are ongoing. So I play the videos, as we're recording silently, with muted, and just before she gets shocked by the soldiers that rush in to save the doctor, there's a smile on her face.
Oh, I don't think I noticed that. Okay.
Hold on. The doctors are running. Okay, so soldier runs in, telling her to let go. Okay, I'm gonna send you a screenshot just so.
Oh yeah, I want to see that because I'm very not. I think I might have missed that.
So yeah, folks, you can see my snipping tool pop up there as I'm getting ready for this. No, you poxy pricks.
Oh,
Disney Plus with their fucking detection system for capturing
it's not
things.
letting you.
Yeah, they won't let me screenshot, folks.
Oh,
hold on.
All right, I have the movie open on YouTube. So
yeah, hold on. I can take a picture with my phone though. I just won't be able to show you. Actually, if I take a picture on my phone, I can send it on Discord to.
Yeah, just send it to my DM on Discord, and then
I can open it then from there.
Yeah, and then for the people watching, again, I have the movie for 48 hours on YouTube. So while I'm doing the edits for this, I can just take a screenshot and have it appear here.
Okay.
I'll have it appear now. There you go. Yeah, look at that, Ripley. Look at that. Isn't she fucking evil?
I want to get. I'm sending it to you on my phone, so I can then show it on my end as well.
Let's have a look. Oh yeah, she is smirking. Oh, because I think it's such a. I think because at that point, then it is kind of a blink and you'll miss it. Because as soon as that
is, he immediately just pulls the trigger.
Yeah, so so I didn't notice that. Okay.
So here we go,
so
folks.
she's
You should see it. She is smiling. Now again, that scene, like if I rewind 10 seconds, right, it on Disney Plus, it goes immediately choke, no emotion on her face when we focus on it. His eyes are on back. Soldier runs in, tells her to drop it, and then pulls the trigger. So that scene is less than a second.
Dear God.
But yeah, no, it is. And the funny thing is, she is not unconscious.
Yeah, no.
It knocks her down.
She's not knocked out.
Yeah. She'll get up again.
Yeah, and then
just to tease a little old song lyrics there.
Oh, that just clicked. Oh, you bastard. And yeah, and so after this scene, then we're kind of like Dr. N tells them to hold back, like they've clearly knocked her out, or knocked her down, sorry. And then like in the next scene, then we're giving her, they're clearly going through the test where they're doing the name this picture, and this is actually where we get another scene that I wish they had actually kept in the film. It's in the director's cut.
Okay, what is it?
Because during this scene, they're talking. Fucking Dr. Wren, Gediman, and the General Perez, I think is his name. They're all talking about Ripley. They're saying, okay, why does she have memories?
Yeah.
Well, I will just say before I get into it, this is where we actually get a little bit more about the alien itself, where Dr. Wren says genetic heritage similar to the alien.
Oh yeah.
So the aliens clearly have a. There is something more to again, it's a nice little addition to the lore. It's like it's through dialogue. It's cool.
It builds on like that comic that I brought up where we first see the Lady in the Dark. When how did the guy who survived getting a chest burster removed from him, like he talks about like there was like how he was linked temporarily to whatever hive mind they have.
And so that's where this comes in. It's like inherited memories, I think is how they described it.
Like again, in all fairness though, this came out at a time before. I think genetic memory was more of a theory at the time.
Yeah. Well, sorry. The words they use is inherited memory.
Oh yeah, I know.
I said genetic because I completely forgot.
Oh no. But I'm just saying no. I think like that's why they called it inherited memories, like because again, the idea of genetic memory is like. To bring up a video game is like your memory is stored in your DNA. It's what we call natural it's the source of what you would call natural talent or instinct.
It's
go on.
I was gonna say it's kind of like the those stories you hear, like people that get the heart transplants, and then like they'll smell something in the air or something, like they're going past a bakery, but their heart will respond to it in a way that then they don't know why. And it's like, oh, because the person that had that you got the heart from, oh well, they liked this cinnamon bun thing, so it's like, oh, so like the heart remembers kind of thing. It might be an old wives' tale, but I remember there being stories of that kind of stuff happening.
Oh yeah, but again, like I said, it's also like there's just the fact that some people seem to have like a natural talent for some to then discover like, oh, I had a relative like back X amount of generations that was really good at this, and I seem to have inherited their talent.
Yeah.
Because again, that's the whole genetic memory is the whole premise of a very famous and, in my opinion, a very popular game series, Assassin's Creed. Now, mind you, they call it the bleeding effect as well. When you start then incorporating the actual skills into your actual body, rather than just experiencing the memories. Now, obviously, they go a much more like you actually being able to go actually properly into the memories, like it's a movie or something. But like, again, this movie I think came before Assassin's Creed. So, but yeah,
this is like the late 90s, I think.
Yeah, because I remember it was actually even brought up on. I was once in the back of my dad's car, and the radio host was actually talking about genetic memory, and it was to explain why certain species that even though they have no one to teach them, they can just do things. For example, how does that spider knows how to weave its web, or weave its web in a particular pattern, for optimize catching of prey, when often spiders die after they lay their eggs. It's not like with birds, the bird will see its mama bird and whatever, fly off, to get food and whatnot. But some creatures don't have that. They just as soon as they're born, they're pretty much left to their own devices. Why is it that turtles are able to always go back to the beach where they were born? And it's been that way for several generations. Yeah. So there is something to your DNA having memory.
Yeah.
I do love how she clearly she's intelligent. She's like, oh, it's she says it's a hand, but the answer they were looking for was glove.
Yeah. And then fruit, yes, cherries.
Yeah.
So to lead back into that, the while they're having their talk about, oh yeah, she has memories and stuff like that, in the extended edition, and again, it's a scene I really wanted them to keep in. The next picture the woman shows her is of a little girl who looks very similar to another little girl whom we really, really loved in the second film.
Oh my god, really?
And, well, yeah, it's just a drawing, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver's great acting. At first, Ripley she's kind of doing her usual indifferent thing, swiveling in the chair. As she looks at the picture, then she kind of looks far off into she's looking into the distance, and then she slowly just starts to cry, and she doesn't know why. And
wow.
It's a scene I really wish they kept in. They bring it up again later on. There's a scene between her and the character Call, and she brings it up there's in terms of who she trying to figure out who she is. She's just
one sec, folks. I need to pause the recording.
Okay, hold on. I'll pause myself as well.
Okay, but yeah, that sounds absolutely amazing. And again, I love her sort of disinterest. She's just oh my fucking god. Again, it's what they said, the emotional autism. She's just she is bored out of her fucking mind.
Yeah, she kind of sees everyone around her as beneath her, which I think Sigourney Weaver might have had a little bit of fun with this one, because it's, again, for all intents and purposes, this is a new character. She has the name Ripley, but she's not Ripley. She's something else entirely. Mm-hmm. And it is kind of cool to see. Again, I really didn't expect to go back into this praising it as much as I was. Because I do remember not being too much into it when I watched it when I was younger. So.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I love doing my Let's Play series. Because I don't, when I do a Let's Play series, I do all the games of a series, because again, it puts things in better context. Like, for example, my Assassin's Creed ones. Like, yeah, because I remember everyone talking shit about Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed Unity, and then praising the absolute shit out of, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. And then doing the replay, because I'm doing the games so close together, it is much easier to do a comparison between the two.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, hot take, Brotherhood slightly over exaggerated. It's the pedestal syndrome, where people just put whatever thing that they have from their nostalgia on a pedestal, saying this is absolute peak, but then is it as good as you remember it? No.
Yeah, I find myself in that position with Mass Effect 2, because as much as I love the game, the parts I really don't enjoy are the parts where they kind of strong-arm you into going on a rail and playing this. Like, whenever the Elusive Man contacts you, like, oh yeah, Horizon, oh yeah, this collector ship. Like, when you're going on to the collector ship towards the second half of the game, I hadn't gotten, or towards, the latter half of the second half of the game. I hadn't gotten Samara or any of the others yet, but when I was about to go and do it, I just hear Joker, oh no, the Elusive Man says you have to go and do this now, so we're going to do this. But I don't want to do this. I want to do that.
Yeah, see, this is one. It's one of the reasons why I think they made the right call with Andromeda, being oh yeah, you're now frontiers. You just have to explore.
Yeah.
That's why I think they definitely made the fucking right call with that approach, because now, mind you, they could have done that approach within our universe, set after Mass Effect 3. Yeah. Us, basically rebuilding after the destruction of the Reapers and whatnot, or whatever. But again, the problem with this, then you would have to then cement an ending, one of the 4 endings of Mass Effect. Yeah. And I think they were hesitant to do that because the point of the game was choice.
Yeah.
So they're okay, instead of us picking a canonical ending, let's just be a whole bunch of different humans that's doing an experimental expedition to a far off to a different galaxy. Which again, I'm yeah, and again, I liked Andromeda. And I still stand by my opinion that fucking BioWare should not have abandoned it. They should have put their foot down to EA, but oh well, EA pays their paychecks, and they put their foot down for a lot of Star Wars The Old Republic stuff, which I'm glad they did. So again, pick your fucking battles. Yeah. And I think the people at BioWare probably had more attachment to the Old Republic series than they did Mass Effect. Mind you, I think that's mostly just due to the fact that Knights of the Old Republic was one of their their first big hits.
Yeah.
And again, the fact that you're playing D&D without knowing it. But anyway.
Yeah.
Where were we? Oh yeah. So the general is immediately just he is clearly contemplating let's just fucking kill her.
Yeah, he doesn't want Ripley. To quote him, Ellen Ripley died wiping this species off the planet. For all intents and purposes, she succeeded. I don't want her repeating her old habits.
Yeah, but the other two scientists are just they're no, come on, no, this is, we're in an unprecedented territory.
We've literally brought someone back to life through the miracle of cloning, and we need to see where this goes.
Yeah, and they're we don't see it as a problem. They are it is just brilliant that that these two scientists are being so gung-ho on no, we need to keep Ripley alive, considering they were very hesitant after the surgery, and then one of them was even choked out by her. And he's now mind you, he's clearly looking at it from a military I think he's some kind of clearly he has connections in both the military and science divisions, so he's looking at it clearly from a weapons type of viewpoint.
Oh, absolutely.
Whereas I think the Doctor is just again, mad scientist vibing.
Yeah,
he's this is uncharted territory. We need to I think that's his approach, especially given how we see how he's acting just as he's about to fucking die.
Oh yeah, in the nest sequence. Even before that, when the aliens escape, which we'll get to. Brad Dourif again. When you want someone to play a weird character, get Brad Dourif. He fucking excels at it, and I mean that in the best possible way. The man's a good actor.
Yeah, amazing actor.
Oh, absolutely.
And then this is when we get our first infamous bit of technology. I'm trying to wrap my fucking brains about the logic of this.
And it's clearly not a good system, given
because it fails. Like the first scene, it's the first scene.
So please try again.
Like,
but not just that; it's the fact that later on, how do we get past this very new, high-tech, secure system? Fucking Winona Ryder's character Call has a keychain of breath.
Yeah. She's just like, let's just take out my keychain.
Yeah, which spray was it again? Oh, I knew I should have gotten the other. I knew I should have labeled them.
Yeah, like, and there's the fact that she takes multiple attempts and there's
no alarms go off.
Yeah, no security features. Like, okay. Like, the only logic thing I can think of are like, oh, well, in other movies they do eye stuff and fingerprints, but then we see scenes where, people, chop off a hand or, gouge out an eye. What? We're going to have a similar scene where someone does a ridiculous thing to circumvent the high-tech security, so let's just lean into the fact that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that does feel like just peak Joss Whedon, I will say.
Yeah, but like, as what I think they could, like, what would make sense in the future for these type of lock systems. Like, you place your it's like a thumb printing. You put your thumb on it like a panel, and a little needle juts out to take a sample, and it's like it's a proper DNA. Yeah, it's like a DNA scan, like a much deeper DNA scanner. Like, it will take a sample of you, scan it. I think that's the level of technology, like security technology, we will eventually see. I don't know if it shows up in any sci-fi thing yet.
I think something along those lines appears in Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation.
Okay, I haven't watched Mission Impossible.
I recommend. They're good movies. I recommend them. But yeah, that's something. There's a scene where they have to break into somewhere, and the security, in terms of like the DNA thing, something along those lines. Like, it's very, like, the way you're describing it is almost kind of like that. But it's yeah.
Now, don't know, that thing can still be fucking tricked by, obviously, if you just get a sample of someone else's DNA.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
But like, it makes more fucking sense than a breathalyzer.
Yeah. Like, because what happens if, like, he's just come back from lunch and his breath is going to smell like a fucking onion sandwich? The thing is just going to be like, you brush your teeth.
Yes. Like, also, I want to bring up, there has not been a female AI voice, folks. Mother's gone. It has been replaced by Father. Genius.
And I will say, because his name's Father, they kind of lean into the religious thing as well. Because when he's later on, when, like, they're bringing when the Betty brings, hold on for a second. Oi, you. Dog has seen another dog outside, and now she's decided, why is that dog out there? Go do something about it. Hold on for a sec. I'll be back. Yeah. Hold on for a sec. Poppy, down. No more window. Stay. No. Sleep. Rest. I can... fuck off.
Okay.
Right.
So...
hopefully she's calmed down now. I'll keep an eye on her.
So yeah, we... Again, just ridiculous thing, like level of technology, like of locking system. Like, you can clone a fucking person, but you
can't think of something better than a breathalyzer.
Yeah. But yeah, so... This is when we get our first reveal of the Queen.
Yeah.
Again, pretty cool. But yeah, we get a cool new AI Father, which will come into sort of a religious sense, interestingly enough, towards the end.
Yeah. And even beforehand, like, there are times where his voice recording is almost like, yes, follow the light, stay on the path. It's just like, okay, yeah, we get what you're doing, movie. We get it.
Yeah. We then cut to the Doctor. I'm just gonna, because they're both scientists, I'm just gonna refer to as the creepy one as the Doctor, and then clearly his superior as the scientist.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because unfortunately, like they're very predominantly in the movie.
Yeah, they're kind of the two. So I have their names. I know the Doctor is Gettyman, I think is how you
Unfortunately, I'm terrible with names.
Well, that's fine. I have the names written down, so I'll mention them every now and then. But yeah, and then the scientist is Dr. Wren.
Mm-hmm.
With a silent W, which was very annoying to spell it, to have to go over my notes and respell the name after watching the credits.
So we have them in the cafeteria, and he's having a bonding moment with her.
Yeah.
And he sees her looking at, a fork, and he's like, fork. She then... Yes! You beat me to it.
It's...
and he
again,
laughs. I like how he laughs. Like he doesn't find it concern or anything. And then she immediately brings up and she's like, "How did you?" And he's like, "How do we get you?"
Yeah. And he goes on to explain. Yeah. We got skin and hair samples from Fury 161 on ice and stuff like that. And again, I will say, because again, we know she shaved her head in the first film, so they're in the third film, so they're going to have like some kind of skin DNA knocking about in the facility. Makes sense. It's believable enough, so I'll let it. I can kind of let the cloning stuff pass.
Yeah, and again, we get very clear signs of something is going on, because immediately after he explains that to her, she's like, "Does it grow?"
Yeah, like she knows, like, and she knows it's a queen.
Yeah, and again, I bring up in every side chat now, but this just goes back to the fucking clear telepathic fucking bond that Xenomorph seemed to exhibit.
Yeah. I'm just going to say right now, if you bring up the woman in the dark again, I'm officially putting a counter in this video.
Unfortunately, there is going to be a moment where I will bring her up. There is a moment I am waiting for to bring her up. Because, okay, you know what? I'm just going to say it now. Get over and done with. Okay. My wish for if they ever, like, for Alien Worlds, what was it, Alien World or something like that?
Earth.
Or Alien Earth. Or any future Alien movie, right? I want Sigourney Weaver. No, I don't want it recognizable. I want Sigourney Weaver providing the voice. Because, or, like, I want her, like... Or if you have to, or if she is in the scene wearing a bunch of costume, because of her performance in Alien Resurrection, I want her to be the lady in the dark. Because her fucking performance is so fucking creepy in this movie. Her deliveries are so brilliant. I'm like, I want her as the lady in the dark.
I think it would be a nice, like, little Easter egg for fans of the franchise if they did do that. I will say, and I think again,
considering
in
this movie she plays a hybrid.
Yeah, and I think in this movie, I think it would work. Because of her performance in this, I'm convinced she can pull off the kind of the creepy,
like,
kind of
I'm
predatory...
superior, and superiority, like.
Yeah, and that's something I kind of think, because we know, well, we find out when the Betty crew comes in, but we know she is more than human now. She is very much, like, she's got super strength, as been showcased. As it's later revealed, she has a few other tricks up her sleeve.
Oh yeah, and also in the scene that I just described, the Doctor even asks, "How do you know?" Because, like, even he's like, she doesn't even answer. She'll say, she'll breed.
And then you'll die, and everyone in the company will die, and then that's when we're told that Weyland-Yutani doesn't exist anymore.
But see, and see, that is the creepy. Again, it's even with Prometheus and Covenant, when they try and give us some level of answers. And again, it's what I like about the Alienverse, like, all the time. Like, there's always more fucking questions.
Yeah.
Like, every time we ask a question, like, Ridley Scott is just like, nope. I'll give you some answers. but they're not going to be the questions that you thought you would want.
Exactly.
Because like again, we got some answers with fucking again Prometheus and Covenant, but then like it raises the questions of like, wait, so do the engineers worship the xenomorphs? Like, there's a brand new fucking question.
Exactly. It's yeah.
He's a huge fucking tease when it comes to this shit.
Yeah.
And again, and it works. And again, like, I just love the fact that she does not answer.
Yeah, not right. Not at all. Like there's a connection between her and the Queen. We get that much, but it's never elaborated on.
Sorry, it's even she even seems to have a connection to other xenomorphs, though.
Yeah, she can feel because when they escape later on, she can sense it. Like she can feel them escaping. And again, and then going back to the scene, like, because then Dr. Wren comes in and explains how William Tani's gone. We're doing things a lot different now. You'll find that we won't make the same mistakes.
Yeah, she's just like,
you're still gonna die. It's not gonna make a difference.
Yeah,
and then it ends with like a really good interaction where Ripley's like, roll over, sit, fetch. You can't teach these things.
I will
tricks.
say though, when he walks in, when he sits down, shortly after he sits down, you can see him take the fork away from her.
Because like you probably will attack me again, so that's why this is staying with me.
Like, and
it's a nice little, it's subtle, but it works.
And yet he defends her existence. So like, he's like clearly he's like, you are a future bioweapon. He's not science. He's not holding her aggression against her, because like as far as he's concerned, this is your fucking future role. You are a future weapon, so you should be aggressive.
Yeah, and I do think, again, because they have to show, how can we show this character is that much of an asshole? Let's have him dig his fingers into Ripley's food so he can take a bite. He grabs like one of her noodles from the fucking thing and then just puts it in his mouth. I'm just like, you're an asshole.
Oh yeah, I see.
It's like the sci-fi equivalent of giving a character an apple.
Oh yeah, and he eats it with the fucking knife. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god.
So I'm just thinking of Simpsons, like, because they bring that up a lot.
And so they have that brief interaction where Ripley's just like, you can't teach these things tricks, and his response is just, why not? We taught you.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, you scummy, slimy little git! I can't wait to see how they kill you.
Yeah. And there's also eventually in future interactions, like, her viewpoints on humanity even seems to be in question, like, and I'm like, oh my god, like, actually, sorry, I am actually just remembering, wasn't there footage? There's a teaser image, wasn't there, for Prometheus? It was either for Prometheus, Covenant, or Romulus, where Sigourney Weaver, you see Sigourney Weaver's face, but she has like black xenomorph things around her face.
That was okay. So remember when I brought up Neil Blomkamp's Alien 5 idea? That was concept art for his movie.
Okay, see, because again, like, just add a few more prosthetics to her. Like, she could be the fucking xenomorph goddess or the Lady in the Dark, whatever terminology you want to fucking use.
I'm just going to add another number to the counter there.
I'm just saying, in all fairness, I'm actually out of curiosity. What do you think is the better title? Xenomorph Goddess or the Lady in the Dark? I like Lady in the Dark.
The Lady in the Dark, because when you call it a Xenomorph Goddess, I think it ruins too much of the alien image, the xenomorph image, in my opinion. Because the thing about the xenomorphs that I love is how eldritch they are. Like, they are very much Lovecraftian, and to add a hierarchy like, the xenomorph goddess, it sounds a bit too like fantasy. I
think the reason why some fans refer to it as that is because of the general naming scheme that we do have for their hierarchy. Because we do eventually have, like, there is a king, isn't there?
Yeah, and he's like bigger than the Queen, and
Yeah.
his sole purpose is basically enforcer.
Yeah, but like we do have the whole, drone and whatever. Like you do go up a title, so obviously the thing that connects them across multiple systems would be then Gaia. So okay, I can see why fans have used that terminology, whereas in the comic she's only referred to as that.
You know what? I'd even accept like Empress. I think that's still a little bit.
Yeah, it feels in the universe. Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
not as extravagant, Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like it would fit within the universe of the franchise. Because I feel like Goddess is too much of a jump.
It is.
From Queen.
It just doesn't fit with the alien aesthetic. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, but either way, I do prefer Lady in the Dark just because personally, again, the mystery level. And again, I want Sigourney for the player.
It will be kind of cool.
Either as a live action with heavy prosthetics, or even
voice,
even just to the voice.
Yeah. But yeah, so back to the thing. So
we're pretty much now getting onto the Betty.
Yeah, we're introduced to the crew of the Betty, and I have the cast here. So we've got We've got Ron Perlman, we've got Winona Ryder, Gary Durden, who is the guy, Christie, I think is his character.
He was so
small
cool.
guns. Oh, he was great.
And self-sacrifice and all, like...
Oh, that was a great scene, yeah. Let's see, we've got Kim Flowers, who plays... her character's called Hillard. I think she's the captain's girlfriend in it.
I sort of got a wife vibe.
Yeah, actually, yeah, wife, partner, that kind of thing. Yeah,
I actually thought these guys were smugglers, but no, it turns out they're actually pirates, like full-on pirate.
And I'm gonna say, out of all of them, Ron Perlman's my favorite.
Yeah,
because he's fucking Perlman.
Yeah, his performance in this movie was just like fucking amazing. No, don't get me wrong, he does start off like clearly we're meant to be like, oh yeah, he's just a complete fucking dick. We're not supposed to like him.
Like that's literally in my notes. Just Johnner's an asshole.
But the thing is though, like he is an asshole, but like clearly he will fight for his crew.
Yeah, like he clearly, particularly like the captain, Elgin, I believe he's called, played by Michael Wincott, who, if you're not familiar with Michael Wincott, you'd recognize his voice in a lot of things. Oh, actually. He, I believe, is the spider guy from Treasure Planet.
Is he?
I believe that's him. Yeah, Michael Wincott. I think the most recent thing I saw was Nope.
Of all the fucking live actions that they have done, they need to do a fucking Treasure Planet.
I actually, you know what? I think I would actually be happier if they just gave it a sequel.
That, or even, if they had to do another live action, Atlantis. Sorry,
I'd be curious to see how they go.
Because I've seen some fan pics for casting of them, and I'm like, yes, yes, these are the characters. It's like when I saw a casting of like Batman Beyond, and I was just like, oh my fucking god, yes, that guy looks exactly like Terry McGinnis. That guy looks exactly like an old man Bruce Wayne. Like, oh. Just beautiful. Again, it's fun when you see like fan casting choices. But
yeah.
So we have the back to the Betty.
Yeah, and then I think the last one we have is Dominic Pignon. I believe he's a French actor. He's the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
his character.
I loved his weapon, his hidden weapon.
Oh yeah, I love that because it had a great line when they're going on to the organ.
Yeah, do you want to check the chair?
It's so good.
But yeah, like I also love like clearly him and John do not get along.
By the
way, I know his name is Johnner. I'm just going to call him John.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
But like, again, John does seem genuinely happy to see him when at a later point when he comes out of an elevator.
It's one of those things where it's kind of a frenemy kind of thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, not to sound heartless, but he does bring up a fairly good point.
Oh, you're not going to, are you?
I'm just saying.
For those of you who are wondering, when they all reunite and after the aliens escape, and they're thinking,
it's an emergency situation, okay?
So I'm guessing now you hate cats and you hate disabled people. Because you didn't like Ripley going after Jonesy as well, so. So we now know you're just in a horror situation. You're a monster.
No, okay. One of our instructors, B, we'll call him. Remember when he did? It's like remember when we did that the infected game.
Yeah.
And I then killed. I forget her battle name. Because she said she was human. I didn't know that. I don't trust anyone. I knew I was not infected, so I killed her. But it turns out she was like the second last human surviving besides me.
Fuck's sake.
And he was like, and then B is then like, oh, you're that asshole that would just like not take any fucking chances. Like you would kill everyone that so much as shows up at your sanctuary. And I was like, yeah. Because again, zombie fucking apocalypse, man. Like I'm not taking fucking chances.
So once again, dear listeners, as you know, in the event you find yourself in a zombie apocalypse or trapped with an alien, avoid Celtic at all costs.
Like I'm just saying, it's an emergency situation. Also,
you don't. They're friends. They're crewmates. You don't abandon your crewmates.
Sorry, but yes, you should if they're going to be a hindrance in a life or death situation.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying. They're facing off against a very fast enemy. Who, and there's 12 of them to their knowledge. Actually, sorry. Sorry. They asked how many more besides this one. So yeah, how many left? So 12. Yeah, there's 12 more xenomorphs. Just saying. Oh no! Sorry, he killed one. They didn't know about that. Him killing one. So 11. Sorry, 11 xenomorphs. Still not good odds. And in all fairness, my point is sort of proven later in the movie. He costs us, in my opinion, he cost us Christy.
Excuse me, no, fuck off. That was the xenomorph.
No, Christy was slowed down.
No, he was not. Do not blame the man whose legs don't work on the fact that a xenomorph can spit acid.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was going to bring it up, like, eventually, like, oh yeah, we remember how we talked about it in Alien 3? Like, there we go, this movie actually has our confirmation, and I'm not just saying that to change the subject.
Yeah, no, no, you absolute monster. Oh my god.
I'm not apologizing, no, because I'm absolutely fucking right. I bet you, Atten, in a real life situation, you would do the fucking same. I'm just being fucking honest about it. Survival of the fucking fittest.
Fuck me. Oh.
And you don't go back for the fucking pets. I don't care if it was. Jonesy being a cat is not what matters to me. It's the fact that it's a pet. Anyway, back to the Betty. So I love how we get really nice character moments for their introduction.
Yeah.
Like John, we see that he is a bit of a dick.
Yeah, like he drops a knife onto Reese, I believe is the character's name, the wheelchair guy. So
I will agree that is not on. As much as I would be ready to abandon him, I would be like, no, dude, no, don't be a fucking dick. Like, like, yeah, no, it's okay to propose, like, maybe we abandon the guy that's slowing us down, fine, but yeah, no, don't go tossing a fucking knife into the guy just because he can't feel it.
Yeah.
But then I love how we have Cal then, again, a quick characterization of Cal. She's very, caring. She's like, she immediately breaks the fucking knife.
Yeah, it's just like, you dropped it on my friend. I'm the fuck with you. This is my knife now, and now it's broken.
Yeah. And again, like, we see, it's just, again, great, some character moments, like, and all that. And
I will say, particularly with character moments, it kind of feels like Brees might be attracted to Call in some way. Throughout the entire movie, I get that, like, he's smitten with her a little bit.
Yeah. Like, the amount of times he seems to be the only one that really doesn't give two shits that when her secret is revealed.
Oh, yeah. He's shocked, but he's just like, oh, okay, hi.
Yeah. Oh, here's some fun facts that can help us and escape this situation. So, okay. So maybe it is a good thing that they kept him around, like, because he was able to inform them of this, those juicy facts, because she wasn't going to tell them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so we get back to the ship crew. This is when we see Hillard, and we immediately get a characterization moment of the captain. How he's like, my passcode is bite me. And
is that what he was spelling?
I think so. Hold on, let me just check. I think it was bite me. Rewinding. So there we go. John's freaking out. I'll give you my authorization code. It's eat me. Okay. So yeah. But then he tells his partner, again, we don't know their exact relationship, so we'll just say partner.
Yeah.
It is definitely sexual. But,
absolutely.
But like...
Because they be flirting.
Oh, yeah. Even more than flirting. In a later scene. But yeah, he tells her, oh yeah, don't cut the engines until we're in X distance. Let's give them a little bit of a scare.
Yeah. So he clearly he's a messer. He just wants to fuck around a little bit.
Yeah, like these are pirates that clearly have an ongoing relationship. The fact that he has an authorization code, that clearly shows that they have had previous dealings. Whoever runs this place, which is clearly the general.
Yeah, because the two of them have a conversation then later on. That is like it's like we're familiar. I wouldn't call it friends, but it's more like this is a necessary partnership.
Yeah, like you pay me, we provide you discrete services.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and don't get me wrong, folks. We are, as much as these guys are our quote unquote heroes, they are not heroes.
No, they are assholes.
Yeah,
like, massively so.
Yeah. Because the services that they're arriving at this facility for is actually human trafficking.
Yep, they are providing livestock for the facehuggers, we later learn.
Yeah. Now, obviously, we do get a sense that these are veteran pirates. Also, I love how they had to give the captain a trench coat.
Yeah, they had to.
I was like, these are space pirates.
Yeah, Sci-Fi 101, the space pirates, the captain has to have a long jacket.
Yeah. It's a duster, actually, in fact, I believe it is. Because the duster, I think, reaches even down to your, like, ankles.
Right. Oh, yeah, and it has a little flap on it as well on the shoulders, yeah.
So I think it is a duster. Which is just as cool. Like, anyone who's played Fallout New Vegas would love a duster.
Oh, yeah. You're not a true cowboy without a duster in that game. And then when they're having their conversation as well, between what's his name? I'm trying to, because I have to. It's a weird name. His first name's Frank, so I'm going to call him Frank. Between Frank and General Perez, like it's very clear, the Betty crew have no idea what they're going to be using the humans for. Yeah. They're just you told us to get them. You're providing us with money, which apparently is a very rare commodity in the future.
Yeah, well, I think it's paper money, like physical. Like I think they moved on to what generally always happens in a sci-fi setting, where most currency is done via digital, like currency, like credit.
Yeah.
Like now, mind you, some most sci-fi things do have a balance between those two. Like Star Wars, they have a balance between physical credits, which are coming in various like little metals. And then there's the digital version, credits, as well. I don't know about Star Trek, so I'm not going to say anything about that.
It depends on the species. So Earth, they have no currency. For non-Federation territory, so they use something called gold pressed latinum. So it's literally it's liquid latinum, but it's like sealed inside these gold containers. Like the latinum itself is what is important.
Okay. Then we have like Cyberpunk 2077, which is based on Earth. We have the Eurodollar. Which is it does have a paper variant, but apparently no one really uses it. I still have to get through fucking Cyberpunk 2077.
Same.
I never even get like do the main story after talking to the guy in his car when you get the job, because I keep getting lost in the city and I'm like, oh, it's too much shiny stuff. Again,
I will
like side quests.
Yeah, the prologue is actually pretty decently sized. It's what it is now. It's a game worth playing.
Yeah.
And then just to
Mass
add
Effect
on, I believe Mass Effect has the credit shit. Yeah, I was about to say Mass Effect. Yeah, the credit shit.
It's digital, but there is physical chits as well, which I imagine are probably not like, they're probably like some kind of like little plug-in thing you could do. Like I imagine they're like a USB. Like I don't know why, but I picture credit shits in Mass Effect being like fucking like a USB drive.
Yeah,
like
something
like it has X amount of currency on it. You plug it into your Omni drive, your Omni tool, or whatever electronic device you have, and that's how you get the currency added to your account.
Yeah.
I don't know why I picture it that way, but I just do. But anyway,
no, because I always pictured like a long stick thing as well, kind of thing for. Anyway, but so as Frank and Perez are continuing their talk, Frank is starting to basically insinuate, so I know you guys, you guys aren't really doing anything legal, especially given the fact that you're basically not in international. Yeah, you're not in international waters, is basically what he's saying. Like, they're in a part of space that is basically no government. It's the Wild West. Yeah. And Perez immediately he knows that Frank is basically just moving on to the whole blackmail thing. So what do you want? What do you want? What can I do for you? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. What do you want?
2 days of room and board and whatever we can pick up.
Yeah, and Perez is like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair, fine, go have fun. Mi casa su casa, he says sarcastically.
But before that, though, I want to get back to the searching of the weapons. So we have a similar glove to what was used. That it looks similar to what was used in the surgery. And part of me can't help but feel like, is this like some kind of like bad Omni-tool thing? Yes. I want an Omni-tool so badly. Like the fact that you can play apparently games on it.
Oh, that'd be great. But
anyway, yeah. Sorry, folks. For the footage you're looking at, I'm stuck on a loading screen on my video for some reason. It's playing, but like, oh, there we go. There's some footage for you. I didn't want you just looking at a loading screen, so I've been fast forwarding. But anyway, so we have them. It's searching for our weapons. We get the funny line, "Do you want to check the chair?" Which they really should have checked the chair.
They really should have checked Vreeze's chair. Yeah.
But the funny thing is, they're only checking the most obvious locations for weapons: the legs, the waist, and then like underneath the armpits, because they don't fucking catch Christie's like little pistols that are above that are up his sleeves.
Yeah, it's weird. I think is there a line of dialogue that mentions beforehand that it goes past? No, there isn't actually. He just says are you expecting trouble to the captain? So why didn't they check the fucking wrists?
Well, again, I think it's because the idea of like these pirates. Again, I think it's more to do with the fact that they're underestimating these guys because they're pirates.
That makes sense.
So they're just like, the pirates are not going to have like some jury rig thing that will slide up their fucking wrist. Because again, Christie is not wearing gloves. He on his hands. There's nothing to suggest mechanical stuff. Or like he's trying to hide. Yeah. So that's why they probably okay. His hands are up. He's not wearing any gloves. So we'll check his ankles, his legs and whatnot. Then his, the usual place where you would find a holster. And then they do the same thing for John, which I love his line. He's like, you were told not to have any weapons. reveals a
It's like a little
flask.
flask.
He's like, my own recipe, much more dangerous.
And of course, we later realize it fucking was.
Yeah. One, it's apparently extremely strong.
Yeah.
And then two, it turns out to be a fucking shotgun.
Yeah. And I do love as well, because we were talking about just the flavor of it, because it shows the next scene after the talk with Perez and Frank. It's literally just that they're all having their downtime. Varese is going around the ship just taking like
Anything
shit from
that's
their
not,
stock.
anything that's not nailed down.
Oh, it's so good. But then, yeah, you've got Call, Johnner, and Christy all sitting in like the
watching
mess hall,
an infomercial on
but
weapons?
like they're selling weapons, yeah. Like call now. It's like one of those TV auction things.
Yeah.
And I just love that when she takes a drink out, she's like, "What did you put in this? Battery acid?" And Johnner's just like, "Just for the color."
For color. We then see the cargo, which is people. We then see a scene of obviously eggs.
Yeah, and the face hugging begins.
We then actually, before we get that drinking scene, we actually get Ripley in a gym.
Yes,
having a bit of fun with a basketball, and apparently John has a thing for tall women.
Yeah. He tries to woo her with his masculine charms, and
he even states it's not my fault. I like tall women.
Yeah.
Because like the rest of the crew, you can hear them in the background, like, oh my god, it's like,
what are you doing, John?
Like it's like as soon as they saw her. Like, I feel like they've been through something like this before, where they encountered a tall woman, and then he immediately is like, ooh.
Hello.
And they're just like, oh my fucking god, okay.
This shit again.
Yeah, like, and I feel like he's not successful often, because
given their reactions, yeah.
They're all watching with a smile.
Like, I can't wait to see you get shot down again. And she does shoot him down in, the most polite way possible.
After,
a basketball to the nuts.
Yeah, no, sorry. Before that, like, is it 2 or 3 solid minutes of her just teasing him with the basketball?
Oh god!
Like,
and it's
in all fairness, I can understand why he feels like she is flirting, because like she is smiling at him, like she's putting the ball in positions that would require him to get very close.
Yeah. Like this is her toying with him.
Yeah, and again,
like she's playing with her food.
Yeah, which is not fucking dissimilar to a certain other creature's behavior.
Yeah, exactly. She's getting him in close, and when she has him in a place in a position of kind of disarmament. Just basketball to the nads, and what I can like I have tried to. I remember when I first saw this film, I was a teenage. Again, like my experience with the Alien films was all when I was like 13, 14, because I saw them all in the same year. So as soon as I saw that scene as a kid, I tried to recreate what Ripley did. I didn't hit my friend's nuts; I hit my own.
And then she also immediately backhands him, sending this, like, in all fairness, behemoth of a man. Like let's be honest. Yeah, no, sorry, not on his ass. He does a full flip in the air, because he's facing her, folks. She hits him. He goes up into the air, several feet away from her, and then the next time we see him, he is on his stomach. So he is not. So that she knocked him with enough force so that his body would actually then turn. While in the air,
and then, it's a great sequence. Just again, it's a great way to showcase her strength. But then,
like Hiller, again, sorry. As much as John is clearly the asshole of the crew, the rest of the crew does not hesitate to jump in. Like Hiller throwing protect him, Hiller throwing it back, like, hey, throws a basketball, obviously to her. Ripley's like just grabbing it, like one hand, boom.
Which again, it's a great way to showcase her reflexes and her like physical strength, because she's just holding that ball like with the palm of her fucking hand.
Yeah, and
in a position that can't be recreated.
Yeah, no, like you need to really be squeezing that fucking thing hard.
Yeah.
In order to not drop that.
Then you got Christy. I've got another game.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
I have another. I'm curious. Because we see Xenomorphs climb with virtually little to no effort. Where her new strength, do you think Ripley could? Considering how she's gripping that basketball.
Ooh. That is an
actually no. I'm not even going to call her Ripley anymore. I'm just going to call her A.
Ripley 8. Yeah, that's
or just A.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not going to lie. I would love to see like a animated series or whatever featuring her leading like some kind of like bug hunt, like anti-xenomorph team of colonial marines. Just saying.
Yeah. Actually, there is. So do you remember when I told you about those 2 audiobooks that were took place after and before, during, and after the Alien movie, the first 2 films? Mm-hmm. So the second book. So the first book is Out of the Shadows. The last book, the one that takes place on Hadley's Hope, that's the third installment of this trilogy. Mm-hmm. The second book, I can't remember the name of it, but I will get the name of it and have it appear here. Focuses on the descendant of Clone Ripley.
Oh.
And basically the aliens are, the xenomorphs are basically out for revenge. Like they want blood, so they're going after Ripley's descendant. Think Jaws the Revenge.
Again, I'm fucking telling you, they're being like the Lady in the Dark check is fucking like, oh, that fucking bitch. She has gotten in my way too many fucking goddamn times.
So
again, fucking more evidence. But yeah, back to the movie.
Yeah. So you've got Christy then.
Yeah, with
the entire scene. The entire scene is a great way to showcase how different Ripley is now from her original. Like she's super strength. She's got great reflexes. He takes a weight to the face.
Yeah,
and it just makes her nosebleed.
Yeah, like she doesn't even step back. She's pulling a Dragon Ball moment. Her head just goes bunk, head back.
Yep.
Goes back forward.
Tickled.
Yeah. Oh, you cause a nosebleed. And he then tries it again. She's just like, again, Dragon Ball moment. She's just moving her upper body so lazily away.
And then just grabs the weight and knocks him on his arse then.
She hits him with the basketball, man. She doesn't
that
even hit
was
with the weight.
Yes.
Yeah, she double hands her the basketball. Boom! Solid right in his face. And he goes down. Now, he's not knocked out. She then tosses it. It's then revealed that the scientist and the doctor fucking were watching that interaction.
Yeah.
And they're just like, excellent.
They're like, this has been fun to watch. And of course, Ren calls her by name, and we get a close up of Call, who, like, almost like a light bulb has gone off in her head. Like, wait, what name did he just fucking say?
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got Ripley. She rubs the blood off her nose, and it's revealed that she has acid blood.
Yeah. And then I love how, like, fucking John's like, what are you? She doesn't, once again, a common theme with Ridley Scott's movies, not answering the question. She just tosses the basketball over her shoulder, and it doesn't even hit the rim. It just
goes in.
Yeah.
She makes it. And again, as I'm sure everyone knows at this point, Sigourney Weaver made the shot. It was their last take. They had made, I think they had done it was nearly like 40 odd takes, and each time she missed. So I think they were like, all right, this is the last take. We're just gonna do some like jiggery pokery editing to make it look like he got in afterwards, and then that'll be it. So yeah, Sigourney, whenever you're ready, take the shot. She threw it. It went in, and I think it cuts just before Ron Perlman turns all the way. The wide shot cuts to a close up of him, but in that original wide shot, he actually just cheers. He goes, "Fucking yeah!" Afterwards, so they had to cut to a close up of him instead, looking shocked and terrified.
We then get a scene of the doctor once again being creepy, something of a predator, isn't she? And I'm like, a part of me could not help but smile, be like, oh, that's a play on, like, one, the fact that he's seeing more shit going on, but also, like, the Yautja are a fucking thing in this universe.
Now that we know, it's confirmed, Oh.
So I'm just like, oh, I love that. And then he was like, and then, the scientist then's like, yes, she makes us very proud. Like, the way they do talk about her as if she is their daughter or something. Then
she's
the sun then goes behind whatever planet they're orbiting, and we get the the aforementioned scene of everyone, relaxing.
Just chilling, doing their shit.
Yeah, we see Hillard and the captain
just having an intimate moment, I assume. Yeah. I think in a scene, they were getting it on, in a scene that I can only assume was directed by Quentin Tarantino. So
we then get the general lighting tar. I can only assume, or whatever you use to shine your boots, putting the fire out with the lid.
And then Perez is just doing his thing. He's just doing his military check stuff. And
you can. I will say they do a good job of characterizing him as like he is a military man to the fucking bone. He in his off hours, he's not doing anything. Like, his form of relaxation is spit shining his own boots.
Yeah. Like he's just like, yep, this is what was drilled into me. I'm just going to keep doing it.
So I'm just going to fast forward for my own note taking.
And then you get again.
We had the knife. So we have the alcohol scene. I do like how when we eventually cut back to them, she's wearing boxing gloves.
Yeah, she's just bored, so she's having fun.
But clearly, it's an act to create an excuse to go away from her crew.
Yeah. So then she goes off to find Ripley. She has her little keychain of breath thing.
But before that, we do cut back to the doctor. Once again.
Oh yes, it's this scene. Yes.
We cut back to the doctor looking at a bunch of containers,
which all have like the xenomorphs in them. Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm like, clearly they're based on the number that they have. They were clearly planning on getting like a load of them. But first, I will say this is an idiotic moment. Yeah, again, there has to be one key decision that leads to the big fuck up, and in my opinion, the big decision was, even though you have all these fucking containers, you decide to put three xenomorphs
together.
Yeah, in one.
Fucking yeah. But the sequence itself, and again, that's why I love Brad Dourif. Only he can have this bizarre interaction with an alien and make it work, because he's just like pressing his face to the glass, like making weird kissy faces and shit like that to try and get the alien to react.
And that's after the xenomorph, bangs its head to the glass, like obviously clearly trying to get him. He is and the thing is, he knows it's unacceptable because he looks over his back to see if there's anyone there
watching. It's like the weirdest fucking performance, and I love it. I love him for it.
It's like, okay, to be honest with you, it's as if he, because of his studies clearly into the xenobiology, I would not be surprised if he was starting to worship them.
I suppose towards the end, I guess, when his little monologue about the Queen when they're in the nest, I would believe that he's like his scientific curiosity has like evolved into this almost like love in a way,
like an obsession. Yeah,
it's absolutely. And I love the scene so much, and I do look, because again, it shows how quickly the aliens learn, because like as soon as it tries to use its inner mouth, he blasts it with like some cold CO2 shit.
It does actually use it. But the glass.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he tries to get it through. It tries to get him, but the glass holds him. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, and he blasts it with some cold shit, and the alien almost goes to attack again. He just holds his hand out at the button, and the alien immediately stops.
Oh,
like it's just like, oh, you're a fast learner.
That button. I want to talk about that button. Fucking massive design flaw.
Yeah. Oh God, yes, absolutely.
Why? I'm going to bring it up now, folks. Now it's not till a later scene, but I'm going to bring it fucking up now.
No, yeah, it's worth bringing up.
It's such a mental fucking big design flaw.
Yeah.
This button is clearly releases liquid nitrogen because the xenomorphs do not react well to sudden extreme cold or sudden extreme heat. They, similar to what you would do to a big red button that would launch nuclear weapons or some kind of other doomsday weapon, they decide to put a plastic casing over it, and not only that, to then they then lock it. So in the case of an emergency that the xenomorphs are trying to break out, you need to quickly unlock it, flip the plastic thing up, because it's not a smash. It's not like one of those those safety
glass things, break in case of alien escape.
It's nothing like that. It's proper hard plastic. So you would actually have to then manually flip the plastic up and then press the button.
And it takes him in the length of time it takes for him to do this. The aliens have escaped, and I will say, creative way to have the aliens escape.
Oh yeah, no, I will say, great. Oh yeah, no, it is, again, it shows the level of intelligence between, again, the xenomorphs. Now, mind you, clearly the other xenomorph was not happy about it.
I always had it in my head as a kid that he was just insulting them until he got them to kill them.
Clearly,
do it, you pussy.
No, to me, it's very clear. Don't get me wrong, that is hilarious, and I would love that to be my headcanon. But clearly, the other two clearly had a meeting. This guy was asleep probably, and they're like, "Yeah, hey buddy, we need to get out of here."
Yeah, did you know if you turn around there are rabbits behind you? Look at the rabbits.
And because the other one's just growling and hissing, it's no, it's one of you guys.
Yeah. And they do. They kill the alien, and they use the acid blood to melt the prison cell floor. Which, again, if you're capturing an alien species that has acid for blood, why did you not make the cell acid proof?
Yeah. Sorry, another big design flaw. So that's three. These guys clearly studied under John Hammond, sparing no expenses for their containments.
Exactly, in that the expenses that were paid were shit.
I still find it hilarious that all of John, he spared no expense except for IT, and and in the end, that's what fucked him over was lack of IT. Which again is in all fairness, IT is a common place to get overlooked by many big corporations.
Absolutely.
They're because in all fairness, for all intents and purposes, when you have the investment in IT, clearly, again, because Jurassic World is evidence of this, the place will fucking run smoothly.
Yeah,
all the containment stuff, fucking brilliant. Because the containment does not seem as much more advanced than what was in Jurassic Park. The only clear fucking difference is they paid the fucking IT department their proper amount. Yeah. So again, big companies, if you're watching this, your lessons for today: don't fuck over your subsidiary companies. Let them do their shit. Second, pay IT.
Yeah, because they know everything.
But
they see what you're looking up on your lunch breaks.
So, while this... what's the term for brother killing brother?
Murder?
Yeah, okay, just murder. So while this xenocide is going on... we have an interesting moment between Kyle and Ripley.
Yes, and I wrote this down in my notes as very suggestive.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should just remind people that the director of this movie was very, very, very French.
And also, considering some of the demands that we just proven Sigourney Weaver apparently wanted.
Yeah.
And she had power over these movies.
Yeah, over the later films, absolutely.
So that means she approved of this. Among other things that we're eventually going to get to.
Oh, yeah. But Call and Ripley do have this interaction, because Call is clearly going into the cell to to go and kill Ripley. But then when she realizes that they took the Queen out, she says it herself, like, there's no point in killing you. Like, there's, they took it out of you. It should be pointed out before this, like, she thinks Ripley's asleep. Ripley's not asleep. She's just playing sleep, and she surprises Call. But yeah, so Ripley's just like, why don't you just kill me anyway? And she forces Call to stab her in the hand, and her blood is melting. Not melting the blade entirely, it's just singeing it. Like, also, so her acid blood isn't...
Yeah, it's not terribly corrosive. Also, the way Ripley is constantly eyeing Cal up and down with... Okay, again, Sigourney Weaver's acting. Because I can see what you mean now by suggestive.
You can look at it a lot of different ways.
But also... The thing is, she even, like, when she's asked what they just no, finally she decides to answer someone's question when asked. She's asked, why are they keeping you alive? And she's like, well, they're curious. I'm the latest thing. Like, which is clearly, in my opinion, suggesting she does view herself above fucking humans.
Oh, absolutely. Like, because again, we'll get to it later on, but they encounter another character very later on in the film, and when she's describing Dr. Wren to him, she calls him this human did this to you. And I'm just like, oh. And again, upon rewatching this, I think this might be like one of my second favorite performances of Ripley. Actually, no, I love I think now, we'll get to our listing later. What I mean is, I love Ripley's Sigourney Weaver's performance in this.
Yeah.
I actually have a new appreciation for it, just because it's
actually it's the majority of this scene in the cell that makes me want to see her as the Lady in Dark, because like there's just a coldness superior, like
she is very she is like an animal in human skin, basically. Like
the way she's talking, it's very like emotionless, very cold. But there's also there is the hint of superiority over who she's talking to, and like she calls like, I can help get you out of here, and she's even like, why would I want to go? Or like
exactly.
And then she was like, and she even said like, she even threatens Kyle like by going like, why would I even let you? As if like there's no like, if she like, as if like, if there's something she wanted to if Kyle tried to do something, as if Ripley's like, I can easily just fucking stop you type of attitude.
I can take the knife off you and just slit your throat right now, kind of thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I remember that now, because she even fucking reverses what Cal says to her. She's even because Cal says like, I can end your nightmare and whatnot, like, I'll make it quick. But then like, so she then says the same thing back to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then then we get a creepy moment. Now this is technically when the breakout scene is supposed to start. She's like, I can feel it. My eyes.
Like it does show that Ripley has a connection to the Queen and the aliens as a whole. In this scene, and it's
because she's staring off into space.
Oh, I have it. Yeah. She's staring off into space, and she's all kind of like, oh, I can feel it behind my eyes, and it's. It's like she's completely, despite appearances, she's no longer. You can't really call her human anymore.
Yeah, again, that's why I was like, I'm just going to call her 8.
Yeah.
Because she's no longer Ripley. Because Ripley would be freaking out at this point.
Yeah, even Call, like when Ripley introduces herself. Oh yeah, Ripley Ellen, Lieutenant, First Class, and she's like, well, no, Ripley died 200 years ago. You're not her. And there is this little moment of realization for Ripley where she's like, I'm not her. Like she's kind of as if hearing the words herself.
A burden has been lifted off. Like
she hasn't really thought about this exact idea herself. Like
I'm my own person.
Yeah.
There is a creepy moment where she's like, we need to stop it before it gets loose. Obviously, we're referring to the xenomorphs, and Ripley's just like, she then towers. Again, I love the cinematography of this, because we see Ripley rise up, right, roughly on the same level. The camera is at the same level as her, right?
Yeah.
Suggesting we're looking vaguely from Cal's point of view, as normal conversations are filmed.
Yeah.
But then, once she rises up, the camera shifts to be over Ripley's shoulder, looking down at Cal with her fingers roughly going along her cheeks and around her neck, but not choking, but obviously like it's
like
just,
almost kind of just again the whole kind of toying with the prey kind of thing.
Yeah, and then she's stroking her cheek, and she then even says, and I quote, "It's inevitable."
Yeah.
So again, we don't know what side. I actually, to be honest with you, I don't even know if 8 knows whose side she's on.
Well, because that's the thing, like, and after the aliens break out, because first of all, she's trying to get away from them as well, as soon as they come out. But like, she has an almost indifference towards the aliens for a good chunk of the film. Like, she even kills one simply because it was in her way.
Yeah.
You know, like again, to show like this is no longer Ripley from the first 3 movies. She is not afraid of the aliens. She doesn't like them either. She's just they're there. They're in my way. They exist.
Yeah.
I'm just out for myself.
Hell, she even refers to them as cousins, if I recall. Or I don't know. Sorry,
brothers and no. I think one of them refers. I think John refers to them as like her brothers and sisters or something like that.
Yeah.
I think.
But someone says cousins though. I can't remember if it was her or not. But the thing is though, she does refer to herself as basically their mother.
Yeah, I'm the monster's mother. She says to at a later point in the film.
But the thing is, though, but the way she says it multiple times. So, like, again, she clearly has. She does view that there is some fucking familial bond between her and the Xenomorphs, which again is fucking disturbing.
Oh, absolutely. But it does kind of come in handy a few times. And so she tells Call to go because they're looking for her, and as soon as she leaves the cell, they're all there surrounding her.
Yeah, she's caught by the general.
Yeah. And Ren.
Oh no, sorry, not the general. It's the scientist.
Yeah, Dr. Ren. And so he takes her then to the rest of the crew. They're all in the mess hall, and he reveals, "Look, you brought a terrorist on board the ship. I don't care if you knew or not. You all die with her, as far as I'm concerned." And then that's when we have like a great shootout, I think. And you've got Christy with his fucking 2 dual wielding guns, and they're just fucking. It's a good sequence.
and that's what I find brilliant. Like, is like the captain's like, "Hey, fine. If you say she's a terrorist, fine." Like again, acting as if like, oh yeah, he's on the scientist's side, and he's because that he's about to be like, "Hey, just kill her then," But then he just looks over and he's like, "Christy."
Yep, and the big shootout starts.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I would view, despite his partner being Hillard, I change my opinion, change my mind. I would be that guy sitting behind the table saying, "Change my mind." My opinion is Christy is the first me.
Oh no, I absolutely think he is.
Like just because of that position, like that level of trust, he's just like Christy.
Yeah. Well, that, and because I think after, spoiler alert, Frank does die very early on in the film after the aliens escape. But Christy kind of takes over. So I think he is actually the first officer. Yeah. But yeah, there's a great shootout. Fucking Christy, when he's like held at gunpoint towards the end, does like some weird fucking Wanted John Wick shit where he bounces a bullet off of a fucking wall.
That's not Wanted. Wanted is curving the bus. And fun fact, did you know in the actual source material of Wanted, they're not actual hitmen?
Are they not?
I actually when I bought Wanted on DVD, it was like a collector's edition, which came with the first issue of the comic.
Oh.
And no, it is very different than the movie, which raises the question of why would you display this with the DVD?
Just to see what they kept and what they changed.
The comic's much better because for one, they're supervillains.
Oh, okay.
And not only are they supervillains, they are cross multiversal traveling supervillains.
Oh, okay.
Like, and if you look at in the background of one of the panels of one of the issues, you will actually see Mr. Freeze.
Fuck's sake. Okay.
And there's a scene where the main character, whose dad was now the only real power he inherited was reflexes and perception, which is why he's good with guns. there's a scene where when he fully embraces his role, like, his position now, he then fucking goes to a police station and just kills all the policemen.
Of course he fucking does.
And then promptly has sex with then, obviously, like, his love interest.
Oh, yeah, the Angelina Jolie character, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a very different story.
I kind of have to read it now.
Yeah, no, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
And in the game, you can unlock his outfit in the game.
Oh, yeah, they made a game.
Yeah, they made a game, but you can unlock the outfit that the supervillain suit that he wears in the comics in the game. You can unlock it. Okay. And it's fucking badass. But anyway, but yeah, we have a really cool, beautiful mind moment, I would say, where he's analyzing like angles of the ceiling. And he gets a really cool headshot. And I love how we cut over to John, and John's smiling.
Yeah, like he's like, that was cool.
No, because this is before the shot. He's like, oh, Chris is going to do a trick shot. He's just like, oh, trick shot time.
Can't wait to see this. And then so then the captain is quite clearly he's saying to Kolek, you better tell me what the hell's going on right now, and if I don't believe you, I'm just going to kill you right here and now.
Oh yeah,
like then, he's because she has pretty much just put the crew in danger because she's new as well. She's kind of the Ash of the crew.
Because we eventually find out that she only joined that crew because she knew they were going to do something. That they have had past interactions with the general, and she knew that eventually, if she teamed up with them, she would get a chance to get to Ripley. Yeah,
because that's the whole reason she's on board. Like during the interactions with Ripley, she came on board because she wanted to kill Ripley. For reasons we do learn later on as well.
Which, again, big contradicts the big reveal face she makes during that scene as you described it.
I think she probably thought that they weren't close yet.
So actually, yeah, you're probably right. Like they were like all she saw in the reports was they were attempting to clone her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is what. Then the next scene is then quickly the two xenomorphs gang up on the other one. And I do love how that one xenomorph that's getting ganged up. There is a brief moment where he looks to the other one as if
are you fucking serious?
Yeah, because again, I love how there's basically a full blown conversation between the xenomorphs, and it's just hilarious.
I will say, I do kind of take it though as this was their plan. Like all three of them, one of them knew. All right, one of you has to kill one of us has to kill the other. Let's just get on with it. I always thought it was a way of showcasing just how intelligent the Xeno was. That's how I took it.
I can see that. That's what I used to believe, to be honest with you. But it's just the way the third one reacts. It seems like the way it snaps at them and whatnot. It just feels like it did not agree to this.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
he escapes. Fucking get him in. Fails because of that fucking security system to use the.
Oh yeah, I love how he immediately he spends like a solid 2 seconds trying to force the plastic thing off.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, wait, yeah, a key exists.
Yeah, and again, I'm just like, no.
It's such a stupid thing. It's for fuck's sake.
Oh.
And he goes once the aliens are gone. He
stupidly goes oh yeah, sorry, I need to bring that up. He clearly sees that they've escaped their cell. Mm-hmm. So what should a doctor, a scientist with who knows how many PhDs should do?
No, clearly call security.
Yes, but does he?
No.
He decides to go in there alone, not even with another scientist, just alone. Forget raising security. Okay, sorry, he was trying to raise security for the mess hall, but he then does not think of, should we call this in quickly before I go in there? Nah, it'll be fine. I'm just gonna poke my head in. No, you dumb, sorry. Meantime, you dense motherfucker.
Oh no, he was for a smart man, he was fucking stupid.
He deserves the syndrome meme.
Oh yeah.
So
fucking idiot.
He looks in at the hole, sees how many holes they have fucking burned through.
Yeah, like they burnt, like the acid burnt through, as it does, because it's acid blood, it burnt through much before. And he just gets fucking grabbed.
Yeah, just
the wrong kind of face hugging.
Yeah, we just see the xenomorph reach out. We don't even see xenomorph. We just see a hand reach out, grab him by the head, pull him in, and then we see his assistant just being like, "Good man."
Yeah. Oh my god, it's such a fucking. And then so they eventually do get a security guard to come in. But then the aliens use the CO2. I will say it was a pretty gruesome death. Like he's frozen to death. Like his body limbs are.
That scene that is a little later, I believe.
No, I'm just saying that just happens anyway. Like I just want to bring it up. So
we then come back to Cal explaining the whole situation, not about her true identity, but at least what she's doing. I believe on this place, not how she got
she's
the
explaining. Info. Yeah, we don't know how she got the info, but she is just explaining to him, look, he has an alien organism on board this ship, they've been experimenting with it. They're not really believing her at this point, but they're still here, the captain's still hearing her out. And Christy's like, guys, shut up, do you hear that? And then the gunfire's going on, Perez hears it, and he realizes, oh shit, the aliens have escaped. So I will say, credit to Perez, like you said, military man through and through. He wastes no time in calling for an evacuation.
Oh yeah, like he's just, everyone fucking back. He grabs... Like, and then we get cut back to the security guy going in. And I love this.
Yeah, he just fucking the alien just decides, I have played the video game Hitman. Let's have an ironic death. And just fucking blasts him with the CO2 gas thing.
Yeah.
And it's fucking. I know it's not CO2 gas. I can't remember the name of it. Liquid nitrogen.
Liquid nitrogen. And I love how he doesn't even die to a xenomorph. Like the xenomorph is just watching him.
Yeah, just watching as he fucking freezes to death, and it is a gruesome death. Like his arm stuck to the wall, he tries to pull it off, and his whole arm comes off.
And very quickly, like with the alarms, and then the crew then hit the crew of the bay hears gunfire, and then they're like, okay, clearly whatever Cal was saying is clearly true. It's gotten out. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep, and then what proceeds is an evacuation where most of them get out. Like most of them are evacuating off the ship, but then you've got the last escape pod. The poor guys, they're about to. Imagine that you've just got onto the last escape pod. You're like, I finally made it. And as the doors of and as they're getting ready to launch.
Hold on, and keep in mind, this is like 200 years after the events of Aliens, which we do know that colonial marines, through other games, now have protocols. They even have like the fire team elite, which is called in when xenomorph shit is detected. So which means and they have reports and they have logs and all that. So like they know about xenomorphs. It is well documented now at this point. So which means these soldiers probably are aware of how much in the shit they are in, and then they're then thinking to themselves, okay, I made it.
Xenomorph fucking crawls into them.
Yeah.
Fucking skate pod.
Yeah.
And Perez, thankfully, he wastes no time. He throws a fucking grenade in, launches the escape pod, and it blows up. And then his death, I can't even call it gruesome or gory. It's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but because like, hold on, we need to give context. So again, military man true and true. He's like, I am not allowing that fucking thing to escape this vessel. Again, fair play to him. Mind you, it's all his fault, but fair play to him. He chucks a grenade, like he fucking bowling ball. Like the guy needs. This guy is clearly a bowler when he's not on when he's on a planet with gravity. He's clearly a bowler.
Yeah. And the grenade goes in and it launches, and he's like waiting, and then he times it when he clicks the switch and the thing blows up, and he just gives the fucking.
I will say I love how I do like how the fire sort of like collapses in on itself because
because you're in fucking space.
Yeah, I do love that. It is one of the best explosions in space I've really seen. Besides from the Death Star, but the Death Star is very unrealistic because
it's fantasy.
Yeah. But I will say, Alien has the second most beautiful, which is it's high up because of its realism in how the flames I imagine that's how flames would react. Like there'd be an initial explosion from the oxygen that was in whatever vessel had the oxygen.
It's like when there's an explosion underwater. Like there's a brief moment where it all comes out, but then it just fucking sucks back into itself.
But then we see that whichever soldier was with him during the time of the bowling is backing up to a wall because a xenomorph has snuck up behind Perez.
Yep, and just fucking inner jaws his skull to oblivion. Well, not to oblivion, but it makes a big hole in it. And you've got Perez like reaching back. He just takes out a big chunk of his brain.
Yeah.
And I think I love that the actor did this. He actually crosses his eyes once he's looking at the part of his brain. I'm just like, okay, that's not even gruesome. That's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, there's enough of the brain to be like, oh, that. In my mind, I'm just like, oh, that ain't right.
No, that's is that me? I'm finally getting a look inside my own head.
We then cut to what's his name, the guy in the wheelchair.
Vreese.
We see why they should have checked his chair.
Yeah, he just makes a fucking double barrel out of parts of his wheelchair.
Yeah,
it's fucking great, and it's a pump action double barrel and everything.
Yeah, and again, like they really did a great job characterizing the pirates. Like, this is not their first rodeo. This is not the first time they have snuck weapons in. Like,
yeah,
and they got very creative with the way they snuck weapons in. Like, I fucking love it. Now,
it's great.
Like, okay, we have the very classic. Oh, the weapons were up their was up the sleeves of thing. Like, and I love how like they're clearly not powerful pistols. Like, they're quite small, but like the guy is such a marksman. Like, he makes up for the lack of power with accuracy. But then you have John's shotgun, which is built into a flask. Now, it probably only has one shot in it, based on the fact that it still carried liquid. But
it's very clear because he never uses it again, so it's very clearly just a single-use thing.
And then steal whatever weapon the person pulled on me. But then we have this guy who's just assembled like a pump-action shotgun with a fucking it's not a scope. What are they called? Crosshair.
Yeah, like an iron sights thing.
Yeah, an iron sights thing. Like, so like, oh wow, and he takes out a xenomorph, which
like he just blasts it through the ceiling, and then of course like he's got the acid blood dropping on it. I love that it drops on his legs first, so he doesn't fucking feel a thing. Yeah, he's just like, why am I hearing? Why do I smell myself? Oh God!
Yeah, like he doesn't. Okay, he's like, oh fuck, but he treats it as like an inconvenience.
Yeah, but then of course he touches it, it starts to singe the skin in his fingers, a bit of it gets on his ear, and he just starts fucking blasting the fucking shotgun. And then we cut back to
Ripley escaping.
Yes, she
again this with Ripley. Like, I love the fact that we clearly have like brilliant like abilities of like the combination of like. I feel like normally with the xenomorph process, they inherit like 15% of their host.
Yeah.
And clearly, with her as a hybrid, she took 50% from it.
Yeah. It's a nice kind of little role reversal in a way.
Because. Now we see another hybrid eventually that has clearly taken only 15% of xenomorph, but unfortunately, whereas Ripley has all the it seems like she has all the internal benefits with it, while having a humanoid external situation. We see it's a bit more flipped with the other hybrid.
It's a lot more human. It has more human traits than it does alien, outside of the appearance.
And
the viciousness.
It's more like it has external xenomorph tendencies. But anyway, so where were we? We talked about that bit.
So they're escaped. Escaped, and she uses her acid blood. She melts the wiring, and she fucks off. Then she's off.
She hot wires the wiring in the wall to open up a vent.
And so
again, I love how her first her first instinct is get into the vents like a xenomorph.
Yeah. Fucking, it's so good. And then the other xenomorphs are banging on the door trying to get into her. She escapes before they can find her. And then
You know,
yeah, I think at this point we cut back to.
I'm actually. I think I just saw the record time. We are reaching 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Yeah, I'm already there actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think her escaping is a good moment to stop here.
All right, yeah, that's fair enough.
We'll continue on, obviously, in the new year, folks.
Yeah.
You've heard me freaking out. Sorry, you've heard. You probably heard some funny tangents. You heard the evidence of some of Ripley's crazy demands for becoming, being Ripley once again.
You found out that Celtic is ableist.
Again, no! Dude, no! Fuck's sake, dude, no!
Okay, I'm sorry.
Complete, again, out of context shit, bullshit.
Oh, I'm joking.
That's like calling me petist because I would abandon a pet in a similar situation.
I wonder if petist is a thing. But yeah, we have actually covered a lot. I think actually we've covered a good chunk of like the first half of the film.
Yeah, so we will be back in the new year with the next part, and obviously, then I would also release a super cut of the full discussion. But yeah, like this is pretty much it for Alien Resurrection, and again. Once we're done with Alien Resurrection, we are then moving on to the prequels.
Yes,
and,
Prometheus and Covenant, and then
Romulus, hopefully Romulus will be out by that point.
No, yeah, well, I believe Romulus comes out digitally on, I think, December 15th. So yeah, by the time we get to it, it'll have already been out.
Nice.
So that's good.
Yeah, so we'll be able to also then analyze Romulus.
Yeah, which I actually kind of am looking forward to rewatching that one actually.
Yeah, same.
I will say, of the three of those prequels, I'm not looking forward to Covenant.
Covenant is the weakest because I feel like okay, just as a little bit of a teaser, my opinion is they Ridley Scott or whoever directed it gave into the complaints.
Oh no, it was Ridley Scott. Yeah,
because I know the big complaint with Prometheus was the lack of xenomorph, like the lack of the actual xenomorphs in the movie, and I feel like they sort of overcompensated in Covenant. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, my big thing was just it's just badly written.
Yeah. Like again, don't get me wrong. Like the whole connection to David. Like, yeah, no.
I think again, it's one of those things where, and it's the same thing with Prometheus. Congrats, guys! You're all getting a bit spoiled. You're getting some spoilers for our thoughts. Prometheus and Covenant is that thing where good cast, it's just not good writing.
Like they are, like again, they are not high on my list.
No. I will say, because I'll reiterate it when we get into part 2 of this in the new year, talking about like where this movie would rank for us. Having rewatched it, I'm going to give you guys. I'll just put it out here now. I would actually, because originally my thing was in terms of how I would rate them: Alien, Aliens, Romulus, Alien 3, Resurrection. I'm going to switch that up now. I'm putting Resurrection before Alien 3.
Yeah,
I will say, having rewatched it, I found myself enjoying it a lot more than I did Alien 3.
Yeah, because again, like it is a really good movie.
It's fun.
Yeah,
like that was my thought. Like it's a very again, we'll get into it in part 2, but yeah, that's just my thoughts so far. I've upon rewatching it, I found myself enjoying it more than I thought I would.
Yeah. That's fair enough. But yeah, folks, that's about it.
Yeah.
There's no point of us like going more in depth about how we feel about the movie in general
until part 2. Yeah.
I have a special idea of what we might do for our first side chat back into the new year. I'll be ringing I'll run it by you once we're done.
I look forward to it, and and please keep in mind that even though like this is SideChat done for the year. We're still going to be releasing stuff. Like I'm currently working on a video, just going into fandoms and stuff like that. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy it. I don't know what Celtic. I think you've got a few other videos.
Well, at the time of this recording, it is the 23rd of November. And I am taking a break. Again, it's part of my new policy, because I'm not even going to be in the country for the majority of December. So there will be no videos. I've already posted a video that some videos that will go live on the 29th, which is pretty much the final. Hold on, let me just double check that. Yep, there's some Star Wars: The Old Republic videos that are set to go live on the 29th, which will be the final videos for my channel for until the new year. But I have already set videos to go live in January. So like my January videos are already being set to go. I'm still gonna be don't get me wrong, folks. Once I'm back in the country, I will record some stuff, off screen. Like, for example, one of the things I've also done was during my D&D game last night, I pre-visited viewpoint synchronizations, because let's face it, watching me climb up a building to then just immediately jump off it, boring. So I'm getting them out of the way. So that's fun. So once we're back in, I'll be still doing some videos, occasionally open till the day I go, and then after I get back, because I do enjoy my videos start recording. I might do some sign videos, especially when my brother is on break, because he'll probably be in the room, especially late at night. So, which means then I have to keep my mic muted. So I'll be doing my silent recordings. Again, just to reiterate, when I say silent recording, I just mean there'll be no commentary. There will still be the game audio.
Obviously,
But so there'll still be I'll still be getting ready for January. But there'll be no videos going live in the month of December. However, I may post some videos or some images on Instagram, depending on how I feel, because I am going to LA, and I'm going to be going to Wizarding World.
Ooh.
And I will be going to see Lord of the Rings: War of Rohirrim.
Let me know if it's any good.
Yeah. And if I end up getting the popcorn bucket, I'm not sure if you've seen it, the hammer. It's a fucking war hammer.
Of course it fucking is.
Yeah. Or I would definitely take a picture of me with it. And fun fact, I'm even thinking of, while I'm going to Wizarding World, I might wear my Ludosport cloak. Over there.
I swear, I dare you, when you're in Wizarding World, if you do bring your Ludo Saber with you,
I'm not bringing that.
Damn it, because I was going to say, you could just walk up to someone that looks like Harry and just hold your saber like Voldemort's wand.
No, I am not doing the Avada Kedavra thing that you do.
Aww, you're no fun.
Sorry, folks. Bit of context. Skullduggery TV has a weird thing ever since we practiced learning a technique called Dominion, where he will twirl his lightsaber in a fashion and then be like Avada Kedavra.
Yeah. Like myself and one of the other Ludo Club members, we did that, where it's just that we had a little joke, and I think we both just went, the boy who lived come to die, and then we just waved our sabers fast while screaming Avada Kedavra. It was hilarious, and it broke me when she did it, because I was not expecting it. Clearly don't actually do it. We only did it in sparring because we were just having a bit of a laugh, but no, don't actually do that.
It's a terrible,
because it could lead to stabbing. So don't do that. No, this was literally just, we were just, between matches, we just had a little bit of fun. We weren't actually diving at each other.
The most I would be going in terms of advertising sport while I'm on holiday would be wearing that cloak.
That's valid. And then I think for myself as well, like I said, I have that fandom video coming up. It's going to be done the same way that my Alien Isolation 2 announcement. I loved doing it that format, like in
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
But yeah, so and then after that, I think the next playthrough I will have coming will be Mass Effect. I'm currently playing through the Legendary Edition because I just want to make sure there's no bugs, no glitches. I think so far for Mass Effect 2, the game has crashed on me twice. Once required me to actually exit the game and shut it down. The second crash only brought me back to the main menu, so that's not too bad. But yeah, just making sure it's recordable and stuff like that, so there won't be any issues. Hopefully that'll be fun for you guys, because I love Mass Effect, and I think with Mass Effect 4 coming out, I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'll play through the 3
To be honest with you, I might do the same thing once I'm done with Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Which is a bit unfortunate because, again, most of my channel Let's Plays are currently BioWare
games. Well, they do good RPGs.
Yeah, no, and unfortunately, like my love for RPGs is paramount.
Oh, I agree. It's why I love Cyberpunk and things like that. But yeah, hopefully, to all of our lovely listeners, if you've made it this far, first of all, thank you. I hope we entertained you. And secondly, just have a happy Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year.
Yep.
Hopefully it's very safe. Hope you all get the presents you want. Not you though, Jeff. You know who you are. I don't know if there's a Jeff out there, but I'm joking. I hope all the Jeffs of the world get a present.
Also, just for anyone who happens to own a car, especially if you live in a country like ours where it gets very cold, just remember in the morning, check underneath your car and around your wheels, because cats will crawl under them. And
my cat does that sometimes. But yeah, and so hopefully you all have a great time. Of course, we'll see you in our other videos. But I suppose this is it for Side Chat for now.
Yep.
And Ludo Chat until next year.
Yeah, I'm the Celtic Nerd. Signing
I
out.
have been Skullduggery TV. I hope you guys have a lovely time.
One name,
one sky.